always live on the free Odyssey app.
Election results casting a shadow. Lisa Brady, Fox News, as 5 presidential hopefuls meet tonight for the 3rd Republican primary debate.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis are wasting no time capitalizing on Republican losses last night in Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky. Both campaigns making the argument that it's now time to move on from former President Trump.
Fox's Brian Yennis in Miami. Abortion a key issue as Democrats won control of the Virginia legislature and Kentucky's Democratic governor defeated Trump-backed State Attorney General Daniel Cameron. The DeSantis campaign calling it eerily similar to the red wave that never happened in last year's midterms. DeSantis and Haley share the stage tonight with Senator Tim Scott, Chris Christie, and Vivek Ramaswamy. Trump daughter Ivanka testifying today at the New York civil fraud trial against her father, 2 brothers, and the Trump Organization. She was dropped from the case over the statute of limitations, but lost an appeal to avoid testifying. The Homeland Security Secretary at a Senate hearing urging lawmakers to pass the president's request for $14 billion in border funding.
This comes as the southern border is overwhelmed by migrants from across the globe. And while Republicans want more security at the border, they argue the Biden administration is just throwing money at the problem. A group of Senate Republicans, including Senators Graham, Cotton, and Langford, has offered a border proposal calling for resuming construction of the border wall, more pay for border agents, reform of asylum laws, and more. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has called that plan a non-starter. The White House says it is not serious, so it appears both parties are talking past each other again.
Fox's Mike Emanuel on Capitol Hill. The president's proposal, part of a larger package that includes aid for Israel and Ukraine. The State Department says about 10 Americans remain unaccounted for after the Hamas attack on Israel. Not clear how many are hostages. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
At SimpliSafe, our award-winning home security has advanced sensors, HD cameras, and now this 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from SimpliSafe. Monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Now get 50% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Still on the warm side going through our Wednesday afternoon. Mostly sunny skies, though some clouds will be increasing as we go through the afternoon hours. It's windy and it's warm. 82 for the high. Tonight, clouds dominate. Couple of limited light showers. 52 degrees. On Thursday, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Couple of showers here and there. It's cooler. Back to where we should be Thursday, 59. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The leaves are changing. Thanksgiving is just around the corner. And you know what that means? It's time to start making your list and checking it twice. Pro tip, if you're planning to propose this holiday season, it's time to design the perfect ring now. Every Diamonds Direct engagement ring is handcrafted to perfection, which takes time. So don't wait. Start designing your dream ring today. Our experts will make you feel at ease as they educate and guide you to create that one-of-a-kind ring you're envisioning. Our industry-leading warranties will give you total confidence. And as always, our nationwide price guarantee will ensure you get the very best value. Plus, Diamonds Direct has a gift even Santa can't beat. Buy any natural diamond at Diamonds Direct and get a 14-karat gold solitaire setting free. Beat the rush, shop in November, and make this holiday season one to remember. Diamonds Direct at Olive and 270, official partner of the St. Louis Blues and proud to call the Gateway City home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home. Call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy My tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Boy Next Door or Handsome Stranger. You don't have to choose because Pluto TV has all your rom-com favorites, all for free. It's TV the way it should be. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
Is your home ready for the holidays? Beat the holiday rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. Get the Mark Reardon special 3-room Zero Res clean starting at $129. You can also get $50 off your air duct cleaning when you call 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is...
That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
When I first started doing this, my first campaign was 1988. Kentucky had Democratic senators. Kentucky was considered semi-competitive.
Are you referring to Wendell
on the
Ford?
national? Wendell Ford was from, and so it's not anymore. Nationally, it is a red state. However, look, Kate Bedingfield made the point earlier, right? If Democrats have a good night tonight, does that tell you that running on issues like abortion, Andy Beshear, but he also was running on his name and his brand. The Biden brand is not strong right now. The Biden brand is not strong right now.
But the issue template might be strong.
On the issue template, maybe.
Well, we've got the results from last night. And folks, if you were a Republican, it was not a good night. Sorry to start the show off as such a bummer kind of tone there. But let's look our challenges square in the face. And let's figure out between now and November 5th of 2024, we are 363 days away from a general election that is going to go by lickety-split. What is it that we need to do going into that 2024 general election to win? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I am very tired of losing. Would love to hear what your thoughts are on today's YouTube live chat poll, because a lot of what I'm going to talk about right now centers around this question. How does Donald Trump impact election results? Big question that a lot of people have strong, passionate feelings about. I'm looking right now at the YouTube poll, and we got about 50 votes in right now, and it's not a three-way tie, but all three options that I have for you could come out ahead here by the end of the show. How does Donald Trump impact election results, positively, negatively, or not at all? As is everything in American politics right now. The results of last night's elections, we have Andy Beshear winning re-election in Kentucky. I was sad to see that, but that was, we said yesterday Daniel Cameron was a little bit of an underdog. It would have been really great to see, if Cameron would have been able to pull it through, you'd have been kind of having a little extra pep in your step today, thinking that we were headed in the right direction. I think that the assessment that I'm hearing from a lot of people regarding the Virginia legislature, that the Democrats were able to take both houses, but that the Republicans still showed up and showed out the way the Republican-Democrat breakdown is in Virginia. So I think that if you're probably super into state politics in Virginia, of which I am not, that it probably looks worse from the outside looking in because you don't really understand the makeup of Virginia state politics. I'll give you an example. In the state of Illinois, if the Republicans would have been able to get out of the super minority in our 2022 election, if we would have gained, I think it was like 5 seats or maybe 6 seats, we would have gotten out of the super minority. It would have been monumental for the Illinois GOP for that to have happened. And if you were on the outside looking in, you'd be like, gosh, those Republicans are still in the minority. They weren't able to take the majority. Well, of course, like, what do you think is going on in the state of Illinois? But you know Illinois politics a lot more than, people in Virginia do. So gains and losses are moderated by how much you know about the politics of any one of these particular places. I have heard so much about how Andy Beshear was a moderate Democrat. He was a well-liked, high polling governor. He is a Democrat, but he's in a red state, and he governs as such. I have heard since yesterday that Daniel Cameron isn't a Trump protege. He's a Mitch McConnell protege. I probably heard that from a Trump person on Twitter. But alas, everybody's trying to figure out and rearrange the furniture in the room to make sure that it fits the needs of the particular political party that needs to benefit from it. I do not think that we can avoid the question, though, about the Donald Trump impact on elections, especially when he's not on the ticket. I hear with great evidence and a lot of factual information about the individuals that Donald Trump endorsed that the reason why they lost is because Donald Trump endorsed them. And therefore, I continue to hear from a lot of pundits, a lot of people on Twitter, which is where you go to get completely unbiased information. You hear these people saying that the Donald Trump endorsement is the kiss of death, that it's the most toxic thing there is in politics right now, and that the Republican Party needs to move on from Donald Trump or this will be their demise. And then I hear from the other side with a lot of facts and a lot of evidence and information that makes sense to me that the reason why these Republicans don't win is because Donald Trump himself isn't on the ticket. And Donald Trump's base shows up when Donald Trump is on the ticket. And if Donald Trump is on the ticket, we win. Republicans win. Brad, I feel like both of those explanations make sense.
They absolutely do.
They can't be the same. They can't be true at the same time.
Yeah. Man, I don't know what it is. I've looked at this. I think that they're like, what if it's Donald Trump's base isn't turning out when Donald Trump isn't on the ticket? That is a problem.
I'm glad you said that, because the follow-up to the we win when Trump is on the ticket, which I am not disagreeing with. I don't know that to be wrong, so I'm not here to say that that's wrong. People who are super pro-Trump are saying this is Trump's party, and if Trump's not involved, Republicans don't win. I don't understand 100% how that can be true if Donald Trump is endorsing people and they're not winning. However, if you need the Trump base to show up and show out on Election Day, how much can this group of people love the whole country if they're only willing to show up when Donald Trump is on the ticket?
That's a great point.
And I think I look at those people. I know these people. I love these people. Personally, in my life, I love them for a whole lot of reasons that have nothing to do with Donald Trump. We have to ask ourselves how we win in 2024 with Donald Trump on the ticket, without Donald Trump on the ticket. How do the Republicans win in 2024? And how does Donald Trump use his power for good? That's the question I'm asking myself right now. I go back to the Georgia runoff in 2021. Do you remember the date of the Georgia runoff? Do you know what the date is?
No, I don't remember the specific date.
I'm going to tell you what the specific date is, and then you're going to go, oh, January 5th, 2021.
Oh.
You can go back and hear President Trump, who had just lost, and yes, he was challenging, still is challenging, the elections in 2020, and he disparaged the Georgia election system so much that his base, the people who are being told now, only show up if Trump is on the ticket. Trump wasn't on that Senate ticket. It was the two Republicans, of which I know at least one of them I wasn't a huge fan of, but boy, would it have been. I can't even comprehend how different the country would be right now if one of those senators would have won. He questioned the value of voting and turning out. Did I misunderstand in the Georgia situation what he was saying?
No, his message was it doesn't even matter. They're just going to steal it from you anyway. And then that was what, like, if you were on social media and you followed, for lack of a better term, MAGA Twitter, that's what the resounding and repeating message was. It doesn't even matter. I'm not even going to bother to vote because they're just going to rig it and steal it anyway.
His message has been contradictory to the get out the vote necessity for Republicans to win. Now, I know I've lost some of you already. I know some of you have turned off the radio because you think that I'm attacking Donald Trump. And I don't know how to label what I'm saying about it, but I don't think that I want to live in a country where the person who we want to lead us as the president of the United States and represent us as the president of the United States, where I'm not allowed to say anything that is constructively critical about that man. Because that to me is America. And I'm not here. I'm here to do the thing that I said at the beginning and figure out how we're going to win in 2024. We have to have tough conversations. And I'm going to have another one with you, pro-lifers out there, of which I am one, about abortion, because it's key to winning in 2024. We're going to put a pin in that one and get back to that probably at 2:05. When Donald Trump says things in 2020 after Joe Biden wins the election, yes, I'm not going to clarify every time I say that sentence. I know y'all have your own opinions on it, but he is the president. So for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to say that he won in 2020. When Donald Trump discourages voting and we lose the United States Senate, potentially because of that, it's a problem. I don't think that Donald Trump doesn't want Republicans to vote. That's the thing. That's where I want to clarify this statement here. I don't think that Donald Trump's message is don't vote, don't worry about it. Listen to this from October 23rd.
So we have to be careful. You got to get out there and you got to watch those voters. You don't have to vote. Don't worry about voting. The voting, we got plenty of votes.
This is something that he said that a lot of people who are anti-Trump were like, Donald Trump's out there telling people not to vote. What Donald Trump was saying there is we have to sign up and be precinct committeemen. We have to sign up and be poll watchers. We have to be participants in the system to make sure the thing that we need to focus on right now is to make sure that our elections are fair. He says in there, again.
So we have to be careful. You got to get out there and you got to watch those voters. You don't have to vote. Don't worry about voting.
He's not telling you what he's saying there. He's not telling you to not vote. And anybody out there who is anti-Trump, who is shoveling this out as if Donald Trump's actual message is don't vote, that's disingenuous. And we all understand that. But why am I spending my time on the air explaining it? I need Donald Trump from the top, because he is the head of the Republican Party, to send a clear and concise message. You need to vote. You need to get out early and vote. I don't care if you don't like the way the system is. It is the way it is, and it will be the way it is until we win an election, and we're not going to win an election unless we beat the Democrats at their own game. If you look at the different states, there was a turnout problem. I had a comment on Twitter of somebody who said that they were a poll watcher in 2022, and there was a clear discrepancy between their words were Republican voters and people with purple and blue hair. But I know somebody specifically who has funny colored hair and it looks beautiful and they vote Republican. So you can't judge everybody by the look of their hair. But maybe if you had 10 of them, the majority of them probably aren't voting for Donald Trump. But maybe they are. You don't know. Be nice to everybody. The number one thing that we have to do, whether Donald Trump, as the YouTube live chat poll today asks you, how does Donald Trump impact election results, positively, negatively, or not at all? The number one thing that we need as a party is, regardless if you're Trump or die or anybody but Trump, if you know that the actual opponent in this race is the Democrats who are destroying this country economically, on a foreign policy basis, on a national security basis, on an education basis, on a freedom and liberty basis. If you know, like I do, that the Democrats are the ones that we have to beat, put all of that baggage aside. Get your hands in the middle. Yes, I'm talking to you, Trumpers. Yes, I'm talking to you, Never Trumpers, because I'm sitting here in the middle trying to make you hold hands, and we need to do it in order to win. If we don't, we will continue to live in this lap of luxury of finding out whose fault it is that we suck. And I am tired of it. I'm super tired of losing. We need to turn people out. And yes, if Donald Trump on the ticket gets us to the point where we can win, then let's go. Make America great again yesterday. But Donald Trump, people, you need to make sure that his base shows out so that when he gets elected in 2024, that he has the Congress, that he has the Senate, that he has the House. These elections matter. That he has the judges that are not going to screw the elections up when it comes time for the state to determine how the election cycles are going to go. They all matter. I think, in summary, we all suck and should do better. And I feel better for having said it out loud. I'm sorry. My apologies. You know who we should talk to about this? Is Chairman Jason Smith, because the best thing that happened yesterday night was that the House censured Rashida Tlaib. So I'm going to talk to him about that. Can I talk to him about that? That's on the table. I'm going to talk to him about that. I'm also going to talk to him about the House Republicans' pursuit of a potential impeachment of Joe Biden, whether that's politically smart or not. What more have they found out? Your representative right here in the listening area, Chairman Jason Smith from Missouri's 7th District, is going to talk to us about it. Don't go away. Lots more Annie Frey Show right around the corner.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Online at igotfloored.com. That's the website for you to shop Michael's Flooring Outlet. They have beautiful flooring at great value prices. I know that a lot of times for us in our home, the purchase of something big starts in a store that we might probably not going to buy it in a big box store. You're going in to buy a hammer and you're like, let's go buy the appliance sections and look at the refrigerators or something like that. Same thing with flooring. When it comes time to actively and realistically shop for flooring, make sure that you go to a flooring store before you make your final purchase. Michael's Flooring Outlet wants to challenge you to go in and visit one of their 3 different locations, either in St. Charles County, West County, or Darting Prairie, and walk around. Experience the flooring that they have in there. They've got beautiful displays out for you. You can see the different types of, Techwood, Select N Plus flooring, truly natural visuals, dimensional stability, long-lasting finishes. The Techwood Plus has wider, longer planks and cleaner grades. It's quality material for great value. Give Michael's Flooring Outlet an opportunity to earn your business. igotfloor.com.
You couldn't pick a worse time to sell your home. Sure, your home is worth a small fortune right now, but are you really going to swap your 2 or 3% current interest rate and pay 7 or 8% interest on a new house? No way. You don't have to with the Get Paid and Stay program from Truehold. This is ingenious. With the Get Paid and Stay program, Truehold will buy your home now at its best current value. You bank the cash and stay in your home until interest rates come back down, or as long as you like. It's your call. Plus, you won't have to pay property taxes, insurance, or upkeep anymore. Truehold pays those expenses. Learn about Truehold's Get Paid and Stay program. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's 1-855-300-9993 or Visit Truehold.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
It's outrageous that my colleagues are blatantly attempting to silence the only Palestinian American representative right here. It's outrageous, but it's not surprising. And let me tell you, it's not surprising because this place is where 1,700 members of Congress, this elected body, enslaved black people.
Oh my
it's
gosh,
not surprising
Brad,
because they thought
make it stop. Make it stop. Make it stop. I'm sorry, St. Louis. I know that she is your representative. I know Cori Bush is who you chose. I want to say that again. It's who you chose. But she is out of her mind on the House floor while they were voting, getting ready to vote to censure Rashida Tlaib. I have a whole bunch of questions for our next guest, and I just want to start with that and get it out of the way. We welcome Chairman Jason Smith, also representing our listening area here in Missouri's 7th District. He's the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. Congressman, were you in there when Cori Bush, your colleague from the area here, was having her say?
Not during that moment, but I have seen the video. I actually saw it on C-SPAN while it was happening. So it's what's horrible, Annie, is that it's not a surprise. She's been a big disappointment to Missourians, and it has been an embarrassment in the country. She's called for defunding the police, and she stands behind it, even whenever President Biden and the Democrats denounce her words, and then she does these kind of hysterical things on the floor quite often.
I just wanted to give you an opportunity, since you know what St. Louis is like and your district is right around here as well, to talk about how St. Louis and a lot of these very blue cities in red states have these representatives that are serving. Like, I don't know what their focus is right now, because it sure doesn't seem to be making St. Louis better. I'm in St. Louis every day of the work week. It's getting worse every single day.
Yeah, they need to have members that are focused on the issues at hand in the community. That should be your number one priority whenever you come to Washington, is to represent your constituents and to advocate for policies that make their lives better. She's advocating for policies that she cares about and not necessarily what's in the best interest of the folks in St. Louis City. I was born in St. Louis, Annie. I'm very proud of that area, but I'm very disappointed with what's happening, and where you're seeing crime and exponential numbers, and it's not something to be proud of.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your time here talking to us and getting down to so many things that are taking place right now. I know that a lot of her focus is on these things that are kind of in the woke world, and you are diving into the ESG and wokeness fight. I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk to us about this effort of yours, along with your colleagues, to combat ESG and wokeness in our country today.
You know, yesterday we had a committee hearing on ESG and wokeness, and it is so troubling. Under the Ways and Means jurisdiction, we're over a lot of pensions and tax advantage pensions. And what we have seen, based on the data that we've been pouring through, is that these pension funds that are forcing ESG onto the people that they're doing investing for are having substantially lower returns than just the average stock market. In fact, 18% last year alone. And they're doing this just to promote their social objectives. And whenever you have fund managers, they should be making the financial decisions based on what's going to bring the most profits for their investors, not what is going to be pushing their woke priorities and initiatives. And we need to hold those folks accountable.
I completely agree with that. And I think that there's a lot of these things that are taking place they're not really often talked about for American everyday, we're just trying to go through our lives, trying to feed our families, trying to make ends meet, and stuff like that, where your money is being invested in these companies that maybe you're not really all about, but it just kind of happens. It's benefiting certain areas of the economy while it's not returning to you, your investment, the way it would be should that not be part of the case. I mean, what can Congress do about this process right now, and what are you willing to look into doing to stop stuff like this from happening?
Well, it falls within several committees. Financial Services, which several members from Missouri, including Ann Wagner and Blaine Luetkemeyer, serve on. Emmanuel Cleaver from Kansas City is also in that committee. It falls underneath education and workforce, and then, of course, ways and means. And so we look at it from the tax angle on the Ways and Means Committee of making sure that these special tax treatments that these public pension plans have, they're following the law. And there is a fiduciary duty to make sure that when you are investing, that you're doing it, for your clients, not for your own woke objectives.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that it's being looked into so that it can be exposed, because all of these things do weigh into how people vote. I'm wondering I want to get to asking you a question here about the president and the corruption that we've seen. Before we do that, the election last night, there was no red wave last night. I think Democrats are probably feeling good about themselves right now. As you're digging through what you know about what President Biden and his family has been involved in, these ESG things, the woke stuff, you're serving in in a Congress where one of the members likes to say from the river to the sea. It just seems to me like the options between Republicans and Democrats have never been more polar than they are right now. And I just don't understand why that's not reflecting in our elections more.
It's definitely two different worlds. I can tell you that with the people that I serve in Congress, it's two totally different worlds. What we've been seeing with this administration, Annie, in the investigations we've been doing from the impeachment inquiry, myself, James Comer, and also Jim Jordan, it is astonishing of what you are discovering. If you recall, we released the WhatsApp message from the two IRS whistleblowers back in June. And in that WhatsApp message, it was a message of Hunter Biden to a Chinese business partner saying that he was demanding the phone call from him and waiting to hear about the money coming, seated next to my father, is what Hunter Biden said in it. Well, guess what? That was just a couple weeks before the check that was just released last week. That was $40,000 payment to Joe Biden from James Biden. And it was dated just a couple weeks after that. And guess where that $40,000, when you track the funds that it came from? That same Chinese business official. And $40,000 happens to be 10% to the big guy.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing adding up from all different sources, you be the judge of that. I think that doesn't smell right.
I completely agree with you. And when all of this stuff kind of started to first trickle out, we had a little evidence here and a little evidence there. Oh, but you can't prove that Joe Biden benefited. That's what I got a lot from my affectionate left-leaning listeners who are with us every day on our YouTube chat. Like, you can't tie what Hunter Biden was doing to a benefit that was received by President or Vice President Joe Biden. It sounds to me, Chairman, like you're saying, oh, yes, you can.
Oh, yes, you can. I totally agree. Annie, at the very beginning, President Biden said he knew nothing of his son's business dealings. He did. He also said that he was not involved in his son's business dealings. The evidence shows that he has been. And now we have evidence showing that he has benefited from his son's business dealings, it's all adding up. The president also, when he was campaigning, said that his son has not received $1 from a Chinese business. We know, once again, that is not true. The president's statements continue to be false, and that's not a good place to be whenever there's an impeachment inquiry investigation going on right now.
We're speaking with Congressman Jason Smith. One last question before we let you go, because we know your time is limited. When we watched 3 weeks or whatever it was of a speaker pursuit, we've seen a lot of different wings and factions, breakouts of the Republicans and the caucus there. How would you illustrate the unification right now of the Republicans in the House?
So I'll say that Mike Johnson is such an honorable, respectable individual who has the trust of the conference. He had every Republican member of the House vote for him. I had the great privilege back in 2018 to nominate Mike to become the chairman of the Republican Study Committee, which is the largest conservative caucus within the House of Representatives, because I saw his leadership capabilities then, and he's bringing people together. He has the right calming spirit to help bring us all together. So I think we're in a much better place than we were. I mean, it was not a good 22 days. We should have never even got to that point. But Mike's working hard, and he's a good man.
Onward and upward. Chairman Jason Smith, thank you for your time today. We're very grateful for it.
It's great to be with you. Take care.
You as well. Bye-bye. He is the representative from Missouri's 7th District, chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. Follow him on Twitter at Rep Jason Smith, and you can learn more about what he's doing. He is in hot pursuit of the facts that will illustrate the story to tell us about what the Biden family operation has been involved in. And I'm very grateful for the time that he gives us and you here in the afternoon. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Wiggins American Studio, he's going to tell us about all the news that's trending that's not the election yesterday. On the YouTube live chat poll, let me pull this back up again while we're talking here. Yeah, we got over 100 votes, and it is still really close. Should I do something unprecedented and tell what the percentages are at the end of 1 hour?
Ooh, yeah, let's do something new.
How does Donald Trump impact election results? Positively, negatively, or not at all? With over 100 votes in right now, positively 30%, not at all, it just changed, 23%, and negatively 47%. So you got to tell us what you think on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Online at ClassicKitchenRefacing.com. Your ticket to the kitchen you've been dreaming of is a click away, ClassicKitchenRefacing.com, or call to 314-739-1730, or just drive on over to St. Anne and go inside the store there. I have been in there, and it will, as soon as you walk in, you're like, okay, I'm in the right place. The right people, wonderful family-operated business. Classic Kitchen Refacing can remodel your kitchen for drastically less. Their ability to bring the cabinetry that you have in your kitchen to new life is amazing. They can give it a wood finish. They can give it a paint color finish, add a backsplash to it. All of the hardware upgrades that you need to get the, brushed bronze or whatever it is that you're looking to modernize the kitchenware in your home. You can go to Classic Kitchen Refacing and save a lot of money by going this avenue. They also have just absolutely stunning Cambria quartz countertops. And they're the kind that when you walk in to the store, it's beautifully lit. You walk, they have models set up within the St. Anne store there. And you walk up to this island and you just want to expand your hand and rub it over the smooth, beautiful surface of these Cambria quartz countertops. Why would you not want to do that every day in your own kitchen? I don't know. You need to call them at 314-739-1730, online at ClassicKitchenRefacing.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Want to learn a new language but don't know where to start? I felt the same way until I found Rosetta Stone. As the language learning experts for 30 years, Rosetta Stone knows what really works when it comes to learning a new language and helped me feel confident enough to speak it in the real world. With their lifetime unlimited subscription, I have access to all 25 languages forever. I can take a break when life gets busy and not feel guilty about another monthly subscription I didn't use. But with their award-winning app and 10-minute lessons, I can always fit Rosetta Stone into my schedule, even on my busiest day. Plus, Rosetta Stone's True Accent system tells me how well I'm speaking each word compared to native speakers. I've never gotten feedback like this from any other app. There's nothing greater than the sound of learning. And I have an amazing deal to share with you. Go to rosettastone.com/radio today and score 50% off now through November 22nd. That's rosettastone.com/radio. 50% off now through November 22nd.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want?
I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now, get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever at bartesian.com/sips. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. Now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever. It's available right now only at bartesian.com/sips. That's BARTESIAN.com/sips for Bartesian's best deal ever. Only at bartesian.com/sips.
Hey, Bernie Federico here. Over the years, you've heard me talk about Lakeside Renovation and Design. My friends Matt and Dan have been in the business for over 25 years and have done everything on my home, from James Hardy siding, Infinity from Marvin Windows, and even a couple of room additions. These guys are great, and you can trust them with your home. Check out their website to see for yourself all the beautiful work they've done. You can find them online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com. Be sure to ask about their unbelievable financing options. Lakeside Renovation and Design.
In the wake of yesterday's election, today's Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll is: how does Donald Trump impact election results? Positively, negatively, or not at all? It sounds like what I've heard is that the results of this poll are going to be very, very divided. So we'll find out maybe soon about what those are. Cast your vote right now. It's 12:43. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Conservative solutions, objective conclusions. For news and opinion, this is St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Something for me. Something you call love, but confess. You've been a messin' where you shouldn't have been a messin'. And now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins!
Everybody listening's imagining Wiggins to the Jessica Simpson version of that song.
You think?
Yeah, Daisy Dukes.
In the music video.
It was very appropriate. I mean, we picked that song because you wore your Daisy Dukes today since it was 80 degrees.
Yeah.
That was an interesting choice.
Bold choice, I would say.
But it's warm in here, so I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, you know what bothers me is these little strings that hang down at the bottom of this thing. They tickle my leg hair so much.
You know what bothers me is the fact that the pockets are hanging out of the bottom of those shorts,
That
too.
doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
That's
and
sexy.
he's got his keys in it, and that's a big thing of keys in those pockets.
Oh, those key fobs. I got 2 of them.
I know.
They're
Yeah, that I
big.
was thinking maybe you had a condition.
Now, the condition is itchiness from these darn strings. They told me the strings would look sexy, but I don't
I
think
know,
they
but
do.
you keep swaying, sashaying back and forth. I think you like it.
Well, if you're watching on the camera.
I'm not.
Which most people listening are not.
I'm in the studio. I literally just closed my eyes and covered them just in
This is
case
kinda-
I accidentally peeked.
I think what I'm doing actually is called hulaing.
Yeah, it's very slow.
If you listen really hard, you can hear the keys jingle.
I hope it's the keys.
Man, I walk into the studio and I'm like, what the heck? Boots are made for walking, and now I'm wearing Daisy Dukes like Jessica Simpson.
Hey, you made that decision.
No. Correction. You are not wearing those like Jessica Simpson.
Jessica Simpson 2023 I am.
No, you're not. She's super skinny. She's too skinny.
What are you saying about me? What are you saying?
I'm saying if you Google current Jessica Simpson, that ain't you.
I want you to be
She
more
looks
specific.
way better in that video than she does right now. She overdid it.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't kept up with her career all
I can
that
tell.
closely. Well, what I have here is I looked at the top trending stories on Yahoo simply because I figured, and it was true, that most of them would be about the election yesterday, and most of them are. The election results, I think, was number 1, and then you had Glenn Youngkin, Andy Bashir, both trending. I think abortion was on there. But number 2, number 1 was election results. Number 2, I'll start with this one. This is what America cares about, apparently, outside of yesterday's election results. Patrick Dempsey named People magazine's sexiest man alive.
I don't get it.
Well, that was my next question, so.
What? You want to ask Brad
Do you
first?
get it? Brad, do you get it?
I don't.
He's 57 years old.
Nothing wrong with that.
I think it's cool that they're nominating a lot of older guys for this.
You just get more attractive with age.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Why do men get more attractive with age? You said they don't get older. You said...
They get gray and look richer.
And that makes them more attractive?
Heck yeah.
Well, I think we've solved it.
Yeah.
It's about the money.
It used to be that
No,
Annie was like, your beard is ugly. And now she's like, oh.
That never happened. I literally said, I don't get it. He's not attractive. Just because you look old doesn't automatically mean you look wealthy and attractive. You might just look wealthy. This isn't the most wealthy looking man alive. This is the sexiest man alive. And I can think of a lot of men who are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s who I would say are more attractive than him. For instance, Kevin Costner is still really attractive.
But does he look wealthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anybody who is wealthy is going to have a pretty easy time looking wealthy.
That's what wealthy
You
looks
know how old
like.
Costner is?
62.
You can guess too.
I have no idea.
Well, this is where you would just feel the guess. I would go with 63.
67.
68. See, you do know.
Oh, good job. 68.
Always talking about Kevin Costner.
I know.
Never shuts up.
Shh, let's not tell anybody.
Yeah. Oh, great. Another
It's a
Costner
secret. I
show.
told you that in confidence.
It's all right. I kept it a secret. I told Ryan not to tell anybody.
Yeah, I was a little surprised when I saw this, though, because I just thought, and maybe it's because the demographic of people who read People is getting older, that they're just kind of keeping up. That's my guess.
I need to know his height. Yeah, as I suspected.
Because if you read People magazine
He is pretty there.
or Care, you're probably not 20 and on Instagram.
The women who are listening are going to understand this. Patrick Dempsey's a pretty man. I'm not looking for pretty men. I'm looking for manly men, like my husband, who rips the skin from deer that he kills on the side of the road. And I'm talking to you, mister, who was criticizing him yesterday.
Yeah. Deer was trying to get away.
And
he got on top of it,
Jared
just
was
broke
like,
its jaw.
I don't care if you're
Yanked its jaw out of its face.
on the bridge and I have my
I'm not even
children
on
in the
that
car.
road and I'm gonna kill
I'm
you.
coming to get you because I need sausage.
Kids, somebody just say sausage because I got real hungry just now, and there's a deer.
Where's that voice from? That's new.
That's Jared.
Oh, it is.
That's going to be Jared from now on.
Forever, please. I like it.
It's basically Hulk Hogan.
Same.
What's up, Fryomaniacs?
Somebody text my husband right now. Be like, all you need to say is, Ryan's doing his character view on the show, and it is a la Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, it's Hulk Hogan.
He's in the middle of teaching some unsuspecting social studies class. He's
teaching him.
He's gonna get this big smile on his face.
Let me tell you a little bit about zoning laws. That's what social studies is, right? They just talk about zoning laws.
What if he actually did that? Hands warm in here. Getting all hot and bothered thinking about my Hulk Hogan husband.
Kiddos, I want you to stay off of narcotics. That's a good message. That's not funny.
No, it is.
That's
It's
a
just
good
a
message.
funny way to deliver it.
He needs to say that more in class.
It's always true.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
Yeah.
There's never a wrong time to say it.
Yeah. Say no to drugs. All right. And
What are we talking about?
I know.
What is the subject?
I'm looking at news stories and going, at what point do I get back into this? Or I just keep doing Hulk Hogan. Jared Hogan. All right. Another trending story. This one's political. House GOP attempts to cut Buttigieg's salary to $1.
They do. They voted to.
Yes, they did.
That's funny.
It
I
was-
saw someone reply to that. They're like, still too much.
The reason I love this, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene's initiative, but it keeps moving forward. It's not going to pass. It's not going to pass the Senate. It's not going to pass the president's desk. But the House has gone forward with it. The reason this one is so fun, though, is because this cuts
Who
right.
is this person on Twitch?
This person is
read that like Jared would say it.
Let me tell you about Sausage Mania, brother. Ooh, I just got what they call a hankering. And I just saw a live animal. That animal's gonna die. It's gonna sacrifice the car, yes, but we're gonna eat well, kids. Stay off of narcotics. The reason this Buttigieg bill is so funny is because
Imagine if Pete Buttigieg spoke like Hulk Hogan.
imagine if somebody just tuned in, they did not hear the setup for that.
Shouldn't
which
you guys
I'm
be
sure
complaining
happened.
about Trump or Biden? What are you talking about? Yeah.
I thought they were going to talk about the elections from yesterday. We have been. You just tuned in late.
We're just over it.
Yeah, the reason this is so great is because this is literally the only reason that Pete Buttigieg took this job. It's just to make money and sit in a hammock and do nothing. And it has been the worst disaster.
Transportation after transportation crisis.
I mean, unbelievable. Oh, yeah, sure, I'll drop out of the race. Just give me some sweetheart deal. Okay, I don't know, transportation secretary.
Yeah, you don't
What
have
does
to
that
do
I
anything.
don't know.
Train derailments, toxic waste, bridges collapsing.
Plane shutdowns.
Yeah, entire flight control managers, they can't find people to be in the towers anymore. But they are adding diversity quotas, so thanks, Pete. Next one, Google's traffic light system. This is stuff that's trending right now outside of the elections. Google's traffic light system has a shocking impact on major cities. So Google is spinning this thing. It's basically like smart tech that they're using in traffic lights. They're saying this is great because it's going to reduce pollution. That's the kind of the door they're using to get it in. But listen to the way they've announced this in 2021. They put them in Hamburg, Seattle, Jakarta, Rio de Janeiro, Budapest, Manchester, all over the world. And they've said that it actually not only reduces pollution, but it leads to 30% fewer stops at intersections because it's monitoring who's there all the time. And if nobody's around and you're the only one, you're not going to sit there. It's just going to go green for you. Part of me is like, well, that's great. I'd rather drive than sit.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also talking about how the EPA is getting involved and all these things. And I'm like,
that'll make it worse.
You know what? You're saying the wrong words, though. You're saying that all the reasons for you doing this smart tech. If they were just to benefit me not having to wait as long, I'd say great. But if it's all about getting the EPA and tightening up pollutants, which their numbers aren't even that they affect pollution that much. They're saying they reduce emissions by like 5% or something. But
I'm so bored. Go back to Hulk Hogan.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna get it back.
We'll come back to it at some point in the show. I guarantee it. Last story that was trending that I wanted to bring up, just because I hadn't heard anything about this. I wanted to see if you guys had. Over the last 2 weeks, the Michigan football program has faced backlash over accusations of sign stealing. all while competitors who are largely guilty of the same conduct have been painted as the victims. This is Sports Illustrated saying this. But I haven't heard anything about this Michigan stuff. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm out of the loop. I guess I don't watch a lot of college football. That's probably why.
How much college football do you watch?
I would say like a total of none. But
Why would
usually
you hear about it?
Usually I'm kind of like generally aware if there's some controversy happening in the news because we watch the news so much. But I don't know how I've missed this.
You can't generally be aware of everything.
Yes, I can.
You're not.
I am. Just not this. This is a terrible example.
I like how the real story here is that you didn't know about it.
Well, Sports Illustrated is saying...
And in true Ryan Wiggins fashion, if you didn't know about it, it did not happen.
That's right. That's why we do the Monday Roundup.
Do you know much about Jim Harbaugh?
I know the name, and I know he's a coach.
Is that all you know?
That's pretty much all I know.
Do you know who he coaches?
Yep.
Who?
He's just looking it up.
Jimmy Harbaugh.
You know nothing.
Is the head coach of Michigan.
Yes, the story that you're doing.
Yeah, I thought so, but I was like, I'm going to sound stupid if I say that.
He's got a picture of it, and he's got a Michigan hat on.
Yeah.
No, I took the picture out of the article.
To save print.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a real Odyssey hero. Yeah. Don't submit that.
No, I don't ever print pictures of Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, is that why?
Just for one thing. Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh is one of the most pro-life advocates out there, and he was telling I think it was last year this became public, but he told his team, if you get a woman pregnant, do not abort that baby. I will adopt that baby.
Oh, wow.
Do not abort that baby. I will help you. I will help her. If you don't want to keep the baby, I will adopt that baby. And his pro-life message is wonderful. It is action instead of just pounding your fists on the table. I'm going to talk about the abortion factor in the elections last night and elections leading up to it, 2:05, so stick around for that. I had a comment here saying, really pushing the idea that the abortion issue is a huge part of what the Republicans need to face, and I have a solution for it, and you might be surprised by it. 2:05, but when we come back, Deroy Murdock and State Senator Bill Eigel.
I'm a pilot, martial artist, mountain biker, hiker. The thing that brings me down is my feet. When my wife finally talked me into going into the Good Feet store, the salesperson there immediately started investing himself in my problem. And now that I wear the inserts all the time, I'm not feeling the pain. They're comfortable to have in, and it's uncomfortable not to feel them in my shoes because I know the positive effect they've had. This is not something that you could solve online. There's got to be somebody there that can help you find that fit. You put in the arch supports and your day becomes better and the clouds go away and it's a good life. Good Feet has saved the day.
Call now 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive west of I-270 in the Plaza with Subway in Shiloh, Illinois, and at goodfeetstlouis.com. Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Enjoy comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief. And Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA.
I want to talk to you about your heating system. I know that it's 80 degrees outside. I'm literally looking at my computer that says record high. So you may not be thinking about running your furnace today, but it's going to be right around the corner. You're going to need to know that your furnace is in good working order. And you can call Air Comfort Service to make sure that it is. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. You can keep your HVAC system running efficiently all year long with routine system checks for air comfort, service, heating, air cooling, and insulation. Lack of maintenance is one of the main causes for breakdowns or having to replace your whole system. If you've got an issue and a concern, if you've kicked the air conditioner back on today and it just doesn't seem to be working right, and you know that come next year when you've got to really get back into it, it's not going to be functioning great, reach out to them now. You can talk to them about their cool cash rebates. They'll tell you how to save on incentives and rebates and fantastic financing. And tell them Annie sent you. Call 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A delicate process. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's how the White House describes talks on humanitarian pauses in Israel's fight against Hamas, focused on getting the hostages out of Gaza.
And in order to do that, as we saw with the first 4 that got out, 2 Americans and then 2 Israelis a couple of days later, there was enough of a pause in the fighting to allow for their safe passage. And that's what we're trying to get cemented, is an agreement for as many pauses as might be necessary to get all of them out.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby, as the State Department confirms about 10 Americans remain unaccounted for. It's not known how many of them may be hostages. The Israeli military says it's allowing for humanitarian pauses and more aid trucks are crossing into Gaza. The Israelis also just announcing that Hamas has lost control of northern Gaza and that more civilians are moving south. The White House says voters are supporting the president's agenda, no matter what his poll numbers say.
President Biden's values and agenda won big across the country last night.
Spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre pointing to Ohio's constitutional amendment on abortion rights, Kentucky's Democratic governor winning re-election, and Virginia Democrats who kept the state Senate and flipped the House. 2 of the Republicans running for president, Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, say the results show it's time for the GOP to move on from former President Trump. But South Carolina Senator Tim Scott says those 2 aren't the answer.
Nikki's running in the moderate lane and the never Trump lane, and frankly, that will not unite our party. Ron has done a good job as a governor of Florida, but at the end, his campaign has been stuttering and stammering.
All 3 are part of the 3rd Republican primary debate tonight, along with Chris Christie and Vivek Ramaswamy. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
At Simply Safe, our 24/7 lifeguard protection helps stop crime in real time, because during a break-in, every second counts, and these days, every dollar counts. Right now, get 50% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. It's U.S. News and World Report's best home security of 2023. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Still on the warm side going through our Wednesday afternoon. Mostly sunny skies, though some clouds will be increasing as we go through the afternoon hours. It's windy and it's warm. 82 for the high. Tonight, clouds dominate. Couple of limited light showers, 52 degrees. On Thursday, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Couple of showers here and there. It's cooler. Back to where we should be Thursday, 59. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Story Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Story Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm. Call today at 314-238-7360. That's 314-238-7360. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
If you are like me, you have been watching the news and seeing what's going on in Israel and with these 230 plus people who've been taken hostage, and there's a part in your heart that wants to help. I want you to know about the Jewish Federation here in St. Louis and their Blue Ribbon campaign and how you can be a part of a solution. I'm honored to be able to talk to you about this ability for you to donate, whatever it is that you can donate. And every dollar donated at jfedstl.org, that's Jewish Federation, jfedstl.org will go to saving lives and providing support in Israel. We can come together, all nationalities, races, religions, together to tell the people in Israel that they are not alone. This is an opportunity for you to invest in aiding directly to Israel to make sure that they have the support that they need. Please visit jfedstl.org to learn about the Blue Ribbon campaign showing solidarity for the hostages and to donate to the emergency response. Go to jfedstl.org.
This is Kim St. Ange with the Mark Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk. I can see clearly now thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra with Ophthalmology Associates, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
97.1 FM Talk. You're here because everybody needs an oasis. St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
It's that time of year again. Open enrollment is here, and the Poly Agency is your trusted guide through the process. Navigating health insurance options can be overwhelming, but with the Poly Agency by your side, you're in expert hands. Our dedicated team is here to help you find the perfect plan for you and your family, ensuring you have the coverage you need when you need it. Your health is important, and choosing the right insurance is a crucial step in protecting it. Don't miss out. Call the Poly Agency at 636-222-2149 or visit our website at thepolyagency.com to schedule your appointment today.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. If having turkey for the holidays, buy from a local farm, get one labeled USDA organic or certified humane. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show
Democrats are scrambling to appeal to early black voters, a constituency the party will need to rely on when it comes to squeaking out a win for President Biden in 2024. One Democratic strategist told The Hill, quote, "The barrier here is not how do we make them like Biden. The barrier here is how do we convince them that government works."
President Biden continues to laud his administration's achievements for the black community, but Fox polling from 2020 and 2023 shows his popularity among these voters plummeting, while Donald Trump has seen a substantial boost.
Well, we watched the results come in last night, and the Democrat Party did just fine. In the shadow of Bidenomics and the world on fire right now, the border wide open, seems as though the Democrats were able to work through all of those challenges and come out with a win. But is it a different situation when Joe Biden himself is on the ballot and when Donald Trump is on the ballot, especially when it comes to, because the Democrats, this is the game that they play, winning those specific demographical breakdowns like black Americans' support to help push them across the finish line. Let's talk to our friend Deroy Murdock about it. He's a nationally syndicated columnist, a member of Project 21, and a Fox News contributor. Deroy, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you here.
Hey, it's great to talk to you again.
Do you want to react at all to the results from last night before we start talking about Biden popularity and election that's 363 days away? What did you think about how the Democrats fared in last night's elections?
Well, they held up certainly a lot better than a lot of people expected. Obviously, they didn't win in Mississippi, but they hung on. Beshears in Kentucky. I was hoping that his black Republican opponent would win. Very appealing gentleman there who was Attorney General, but he didn't prevail. And then in Virginia, even probably more surprising loss was the hope of Governor Youngkin was that they'd be able to take over both houses of the state legislature, keep one and then win the other house of the state legislature. They're actually in worse shape now with the Democrats controlling both houses of the Virginia state legislature. So that went completely sideways. It certainly taints the incredible halo that Governor Youngkin's had until now. Another thing I'd say is that he had this whole focus on Republicans doing early voting and ballot harvesting and playing by the Democrats' rules, and that didn't seem to work. So I would essentially try to get rid of that stuff and go back to having elections on Election Day. It's a topic maybe for another time, but I think I really wish the GOP would focus on that rather than trying to abide by the Democrats' quote-unquote temporary rules that were adopted during COVID. Now they want to make permanent.
We're speaking with Jory Murdoch right now. I have watched the people on the left, a lot of the pundits on the left, kind of start to move into panic mode. And it makes me think that they're questioning whether Joe Biden's going to be their candidate after all, especially when it comes to support that Joe Biden is losing, it appears, from the black community. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, well, the numbers are amazing. A Siena poll came out just a couple days ago that shows Donald J. Trump getting 22% of the black vote. There was a survey a couple of weeks ago that had him at 27%, and this reflects the increase in his popularity among black voters. He won 8% of the black vote in 2016. He won 12% of the black vote in 2020, which means an increase by 50%. That includes 19% of black men who supported him, which would be 1 out of 5 black guys voted for Donald J. Trump. Nobody ever likes, the left doesn't like to talk about that because they don't want that word to get out. And now we see somewhere up in the 20% range. If in fact he can carry that sort of support a year from now in the 2024 election, he gets 20% of the black vote. The Democrats are done. They just cannot win with that big a chunk of their base removed. The whole thing falls right over. So, of course, they're in panic mode. And, of course, they're really bothered because the Democrats like say, oh, he's a big racist and he's a white nationalist, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't seem to be much of a concern for black votes who want to see the economy back on track, who want to see interest rates come down, who want to be able to buy gasoline for less than $3.50, $3.75 a gallon, or if you're in California, it's up in this $5, $6, $7 range. They like peace through. They like peace in the Middle East, which we had under Trump. Now we've got war in the Middle East, and looks like it could be devolving into World War III. Who knows what? So I think a lot of people are going beyond the just anti-Trump rhetoric and oh, he's mean and he's nasty, blah blah blah, or he's a white nationalist, whatever lie people are peddling, and just comparing the policies and the policy consequences under the Trump presidency versus what we have under Biden. And a lot of people, even generally loyal Democrats, Democratic black voters, are saying, okay, enough's enough. We need to go back to where we were before. And if that means that Donald J. Trump's in the White House, then so be it.
So, I mean, do you think it's a matter of Joe Biden losing black support, Donald Trump gaining black support? Maybe it's both things. If they were to figure out a way to put a different candidate in there under Joe Biden, you think that that portion of the community that is shifting their support may be more apt to consider a new Democrat candidate other than Joe Biden?
I think it's both an appreciation of what Trump offered and still offers. I think his the persecution of Trump, the 91 charges across 4 different criminal cases, and then the civil case, which is going on now. So 5 different, he's in 5 different courtrooms essentially. I think when that happened, his popularity shot up among black voters, and I think the sense is that we have somebody now running for president who has an appreciation for what a lot of black voters feel is an unfair criminal justice system, given people have been arrested and run into problems with prosecutors, et cetera, and that for Trump to go through that gives him a certain amount of street cred. Apparently, there right after he got arrested with the mugshots and all that, there were several rappers who came out and said that they were for Trump. Amazingly enough, so that's had a bit of an effect. And then from the Biden standpoint, I just think people are seeing how weak he is, how disengaged he is. We're just seeing now that there have been 40 different attacks on U.S. troops in the Middle East since October 7th, and the U.S. has responded to 2 of them. I mean, that kind of weakness doesn't turn anybody on. I think people are seeing that and thinking, we didn't sign up for this. This isn't good for this country. And even some Democrats and black Democrats are saying we don't need that kind of lack of leadership and that kind of weakness. It's not good at home, and it's not good overseas either.
Yeah, I think that's a smart assessment. And I continue to question whether or not the Democrats are going to stick with Joe Biden, but it seems with every passing day that just from a process standpoint, it's going to be more difficult to replace him on a ballot, to get him in the primaries and the caucuses, to make sure that whoever that candidate would be that would replace him is able to get on those states' ballots and in the election process leading up to choosing a candidate at the convention. Do you feel like the Democrat Party is more publicly talking about maybe someone other than Joe Biden?
Certainly in the last 2 or 3 days, we've seen that. We've seen James Carville and David Axelrod. Bill Kristol used to be a Republican and defected, is now in the Biden camp.
That's amazing.
Those guys are incredible. I mean, the guy was a conservative activist and intellectual for decades, and he got allergic to Trump and decided to go all the way to the left and endorse Biden, and he's still saying Biden did a great job. Anyway, those guys are saying that Biden needs to consider standing down and letting somebody else run. So, the quiet part is being said out loud now. But the thing is, if he wants to run and wants to be the nominee, they can't stop him. There's no constitutional provision that says you can go up to the president and tell him you can't be the nominee, you can't run. Somebody might be brave enough to stand up and run against him, other than Congressman Dean Phillips, I believe, of Minnesota, who has stood up against him. I've heard that because Biden wants to honor South Carolina, he will not be on the ballots in either Iowa or New Hampshire. And if Dean Phillips is on there, if Biden's not on there, he's going to win the Iowa and New Hampshire primaries. It's got a lot of attention, and who knows if that will be so embarrassing to Biden. He feels like Lyndon Johnson did back in 1968 when Eugene McCarthy did very, very well against him in New Hampshire, and a week or 2 later he dropped out of the race. Maybe something like that could happen. But if Joe Biden wants to be the nominee, there's no way you can stop him. I keep hearing that the quote-unquote party elders will go in and tell him to get out. If I were Joe Biden and I want to be the nominee, I'd say, get out of my office. If you're here in 5 seconds, I'm calling the Secret Service. I'll be escorted off the premises. And he has every right to do that. I mean, if he wants to be the nominee, he has every right to run and run again. And who knows, he could be reelected. It's at this point looks unlikely,
it's
but stranger things have happened.
Yes,
so,
for sure.
And frankly, as somebody who wants to see Donald J. Trump back in the White House, I hope Joe Biden is the nominee. So what I say, people on our side is, be careful what you wish for and don't push him too hard. We want to keep him right there. And a year from now, when he is an even bigger failure than is now, I think he'll be a lot easier to dislodge than somebody like Gavin Newsom or, God forbid, Michelle Obama, who I think will stomp on us like Godzilla if she's the nominee.
Yes, I agree with everything you just said. Before I let you go, each day we have a poll on our YouTube live as we broadcast this on our YouTube channel. And today's is, how does Donald Trump impact election results, positively, negatively, or not at all? I'm hearing 2 strong evidence-provided arguments about what happened last night. And the first is that if Trump isn't on the ballot, Trump's base doesn't show up. Therefore, we need Trump on the ballot. So that's the pro-Trump, that he's positively affecting it. And then I hear Donald Trump endorse these candidates. They did not win. We need to move on from Donald Trump. Do you have any strong opinions one way or another how Donald Trump's impact, because he's got his fingerprints on anything political, even things that aren't political, honestly. How does he affect these election results?
That's a good question. I think that if he's on the ballot, he drives turnout, drives excitement, attracts tremendous focus and publicity and energy and all those sorts of things. I think if he were on the ballot, the GOP would have done better. I think what probably hurt us, in addition to the abortion issue and some of the other things we've discussed, is that I didn't have any inkling or any focus or anything on the Kentucky race until a couple of days ago. I kind of knew it was on the ballot, but I'd sort of forgotten it because we've been dealing with, essentially for the last month, the war in Israel, Hamas's war in Israel, and the speaker battle, which finally got settled, a week and change ago. And so basically that's all we did. Those are the only two stories that got out. I'm a Fox News contributor. I'm usually on 2 or 3 times a week. The couple weeks I wasn't on at all because we were just busy on Fox with, General this, Admiral that, former spy master the other, ambassador such and such. And with all that going on, there was just a lot less focus on these midterm or off-year races. Had we not had those two issues sucking all the air out of the room, people might have focused more, and you might have gotten more energy and excitement on the part of GOP voters. That might have increased turnout or donations or volunteerism or whatever the case. So that had a part of it. But I think if Trump had been able to do some rallies on the part of these people, that could have helped. But he's been in a courtroom, fighting judges and fighting prosecutors and that kind of thing, and that certainly kept him out of the loop. And he'd been more in the loop, we might have had different results than we had last night.
Which, if you're a Democrat listening, you're just thinking more court cases. It's
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think this is an accident. This is exactly what they want. Maybe, if they can't defeat the guy, just keep him busy, distracted, and unable to get on the campaign trail. And for our justice system to be used that way I think is tyrannical and completely inappropriate, and the people who are involved in this sort of thing ought to be disbarred.
It might not be a stretch to say our republic is at stake if this is the way that things are going.
Not a stretch at all.
Thank you, Deroy. We love talking to you. Thanks for being with us today.
All right, Annie. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Nationally syndicated columnist, member of Project 21, a wonderful organization that you should learn more about. And as he said, Fox News contributor. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, State Senator Bill Eigel joins our show. We're excited to have the state representative senator, I should say, for the 23rd district here in Missouri. He's running for governor as well. He is pushing to get foreign landowners in Missouri that own land in Missouri to sell it back to Missourians, or at least Americans. You supportive of that? You're going to want to learn about it. I'm very interested to hear more about what State Senator Bill Eigel has to say. So stick around. More on the Annie Frey Show when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the home of the bagel loan, and your purchase of a new home, when you start seeing those interest rates, man, it's kind of makes you recoil. And I get it. But you still, if you need to buy a home, are going to need to get a mortgage. And when you need to get a mortgage, you need the best deal when you go through that mortgage process that you can get. That happens at Stewart's American Mortgage with Stewie when you call him or text him at 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Stewie will walk you through the process of the bagel loan. And why is the bagel loan so special? He calls it the bagel loan because it looks like a zero. Bagels look like a zero. That's to remind you that you're going to pay zero in fees that other lenders out there are going to charge you for. make sure that you understand contacting Stewie. He's going to walk you through the process. He's going to educate you on how he can help you. And I've even heard him talk to people who the bagel loan wasn't the right thing for him. He got something even better. He is your advocate, and he is just a phone call or a text message away. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Reach out to Stewie. Tell him Annie sent you. You can Google the bagel loan to find out more. NMLS number 226715.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The vote is in. STL Today has certified the result. Onderlaw has been voted 2023's best law firm in St. Louis.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
Get a pen. You'll want to take this number down. Okay, you have health insurance, or you don't have health insurance, but you want health insurance at a reasonable price, right? Well, you won't find it with Obamacare, where you can only sign up once a year with their high deductibles and limited networks. You need to talk to an expert. Kim Kiefer at H&L Agency can help. If you pay for your own health insurance, or your employment coverage is just unaffordable, or if you have a few employees, you could be saving 30 to 60% if you qualify. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. Go to hnlagency.org and get a quote today. We all need quality health insurance at an affordable price. Call Kim at 800-975-2841. That's 800-975-2841. Or go to hnlagency.org. And is spelled out. That's hnlagency.org. A quality plan managed by you, not the government.
There's been a lot of government mandates from eliminating 80% efficient furnaces to gas ovens now and gas cars. It wears on a person with common sense to where, because we ask ourselves, if I didn't purchase this 80% furnace and I purchased a 96% furnace, what is my savings? If you want to know that answer and you want to heat and cool your home efficiently and affordably, and again, remember, common sense, talk, call me. It's one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. That's 314-293-2600. Again, Missouri and Illinois, the easiest of easy numbers, 314-293-2600, or the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
Need a break from the sound bites and the talking heads? Do you want information you can actually use? Information that'll change your life for the better? Then listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hardee's newest handcrafted recipe, candied bacon, coated with caramelized brown sugar and a hint of pepper. Try it on a made-from-scratch breakfast biscuit with egg and cheese, or with charbroiled Angus beef on a signature Frisco burger, or as its own salty sweet snack pack. Any time of day, candied bacon brings savory sweetness to all your favorite things. At Hardee's, goodness in the making. For a limited time at participating restaurants. Exclusions may apply by time of day.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Fall is here. Make sure your furnace is ready to safely heat your home when cold weather arrives. Get in your comfort zone with the heating system check. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Wednesday afternoon, we'll wrap up all things Election Day related and a lot more with former White House spokesman Sean Spicer.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Senator John Tester is proposing a ban on entities with ties to China and 3 other foreign adversaries from buying American farmland and wants to beef up monitoring of land transactions to foreign buyers.
Right now, we're not paying any attention to it.
The push to prohibit foreign land purchases from China has exploded across America. 15 states have passed laws regulating the practice. Much of the focus coming after controversial purchases in Texas and North Dakota, where Chinese companies bought land and failed to disclose it to the U.S. government.
So you've got people from foreign countries, and some foreign countries, other foreign countries, does it matter? Yes, it matters. If China is in there looking to buy up Missouri land, does that concern us? Should we be worried about that? We welcome our next guest onto the show, State Senator Bill Eigel, who he represents Missouri's 23rd District. He's also a candidate for governor of Missouri. He's got something to say about this. Senator, thanks for being with us today. It's good to talk to you.
Thanks for having me, Annie. Happy to be here.
Of course. I want you to give people the information that they need to know about what already has happened, the land purchases that have taken place in Missouri, because you've got a solution for it. Let's identify the problem first.
Okay, so the problem started back in 2013 because it was in 2013. Before 2013, it was illegal for foreign entities, countries, agents, corporations to buy Missouri farmland in our state. After 2013, there was a vote taken in the legislature that went into law that allowed up to 1% of Missouri farmland to be purchased by foreign entities. So that equates to about 270,000 acres. That's a parcel of land, roughly 2/3 the size of St. Louis County, to give you an idea of what we allowed to be sold overseas. And there were people involved that are in office today that voted for that bill. Mike Kehoe voted for that bill. And we've seen this play out in many of the election cycles. So that's where the problem comes. That's where the problem comes from. What we saw since that happened is China, amongst other countries, has been very aggressive about acquiring Missouri farmland. In fact, Chinese interests bought Smithfield Foods, is one of our largest food producing organizations in Northwest Missouri, which is about 42,000 acres. And now there is a lot of ground that's not owned by Americans. That's the problem. So here's my perspective on this, and then we'll get to the solution. My perspective is that Missouri ought to be owned by Missourians, or at least Americans, because this is a national security issue that we shouldn't allow control of our food supply to fall into foreign hands, because nobody's going to love and take care of our food supply like we will. We talk about China, and by the way, you made a good point, Andy. We talk about China. Everybody knows that, it's probably a bad idea that China should own any of our land. But it's really all foreign entities. It's not just China. It's the World Economic Forum, which is just as hostile as China could be. It could be Russia. It could be Qatar. It could be Middle Eastern countries. It's any foreign country should not be buying land in our state. So now to the solution. I've unveiled and I announced my intent to file a constitutional amendment that would do two things if enacted by the voters of this state. One, it would prohibit the purchase of Missouri farmland by any foreign entity, any government, any agency, any corporation, any foreign national. And two, it would also provide a path to require divestiture of existing foreign-owned land in our state, which means that the 42,000 acres that China owns right now in northwest Missouri, they're going to have to sell, transfer, or otherwise divest themselves of within 24 months of passage of this constitutional amendment. So we're not only going to prevent the problem from getting worse, we're actually going to get back the land we've already lost. So that's the long story from the problem all the way to the solution of getting the land back that never should have left American hands in the first place.
Yeah, it's an important thing for people to understand, and you're actively working to do this on behalf of Missouri, but I know that there are states all across the union who are looking at these same concerns and saying, I don't think that where we are right now is good. We definitely need to stop it from expanding. You're talking about 42,000 acres owned by the Chinese, and I'm thinking about a balloon that flew over our entire country when the knee-jerk reaction from the Biden administration was, we don't know. It's like, maybe that's not the thing that you should tell us. Like, tell us that you know. That's the baseline of what I need to understand. But, I mean, maybe there are some people out there that are going to say to you, Senator, the Chinese are big on technology and growth, and they're using our rich soil to help further whatever, blah, blah, blah. Maybe China's interests in Missouri land aren't bad. Is that possible?
Well, it's possible that they say that. It's not possible that would be true. I like I said, we need to be aggressive about protecting our farmland from falling into foreign hands. And think about it. Let's use China as an example. China manipulates their own currency to get favorable exchange rates with American dollars that they bring into the U.S. So when they go to buy farmland in the state of Missouri, they're using their manipulated currency to purchase that land, which means they're driving up the price of that land so that actual Missourians, generational farmers in this state can't actually acquire it because it's too expensive. So this is not just the fact that, I don't think that China should have the land, but that when you open the door for these foreign entities to start playing in our real estate market, particularly in the agriculture sector, it provides all sorts of different problems. So for the same reason that I wouldn't want the Soviet Union to get in hold of our land back in the 1970s, or Nazi Germany to get a hold of our land in the 1930s. I don't think we should have communist Russia get in charge of our land today. And that goes for, quite frankly, for any country. It should stay in American hands.
So we're speaking with Missouri State Senator Bill Eigel of Missouri's 23rd District. He's running for governor of Missouri. A lot of people are going to be paying attention to your race among your competitors as well. I watched last night's elections. It's kind of it feels like a special election because not a whole lot was going on here statewide for Missouri or Illinois. A lot of key focus on Kentucky and Ohio and Virginia and Mississippi. And as a Republican, didn't feel great to me. Once again, I'm sitting here watching the results come in, and I put this out on Twitter last night. I'm really tired of losing. What were your reactions to the results from last night and advice you have for the Republican Party going forward so that we can get back to being not tired of winning?
Well, I think first, like you, it kind of feels like Groundhog Day for me.
Yes.
It seems like there's a tremendous amount of dissatisfaction in the country and in Missouri right now over the way things are going, and yet that seems to fail to translate nationally to electoral success. And so I don't think for one second that any of the principles that the GOP is saying that they're fighting for are wrong. Our principles about limited government, lower taxes, individual liberty, those are all the right principles. I think what we lack, though, are the right communicators of that message and the right ability to convince the voters that we're actually going to be who we say we are in campaign season. I mean, look at Missouri right now. Missouri is beset by a lot of Republicans that I see in Jefferson City that are saying one thing in campaign season, but when they get down to Jefferson City, they just do something else. I mean, I have heard no end of Republicans talk about cutting the size of government, protecting rights of people, cutting taxes, and yet they get down to Jefferson City, they're raising the gas tax, they're increasing the spending, they're not being aggressive about protecting local communities from tyrants like Sam Page or Tashara Jones. And then that translates to people just aren't they're not responding to that when we also see them come in campaign season and say, hey, you know what, we need to be the good cops, we need to moderate, we need to compromise. I think the people of this state are looking for fighters. They're looking for an absolute reckoning in Jefferson City and Washington, D.C., and the candidates that we were seeing lose yesterday were doing a poor job either articulating that message or maybe they weren't articulating it at all. I mean, look at what happened in Ohio. The issue in Ohio of Proposition, I believe it's Proposition 1, it is now legalized in the Constitution of Ohio that abortion is available up to birth. Well, did anybody articulate the message of what's actually going to happen to a fully formed child in the third trimester? I know that's completely out of step of approving that from a lot of the people in Ohio, and I guarantee you that's out of step with the people here in Missouri. I mean, I've traveled around this state for the past 12 months talking to tens of thousands of Missourians, and not a single one of them has told me that I need to be less pro-life. So we are doing, on a national level, a poor job of articulating that message, and we're not connecting with voters because they don't see the GOP, especially the national GOP, as the fighters they're looking for.
Missouri State Senator Bill Eigel with us right now. He's candidate for governor of Missouri. This is the YouTube live chat poll for our show today. We do one each day, and people can go vote on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. I wanted to give you an opportunity to react to this because I've heard people, react to the more than, I would say, failure of the Republicans to really produce yesterday. And there are two camps, and everything, as usual, centers around that massive thing that is the Donald Trump phenomenon. People love it for that. People hate it for that. That's just how it is. A lot of people are saying that if Donald Trump isn't on the ticket, his base doesn't come out. That's why we need Donald Trump on the ticket in 2024. And they think of Donald Trump as a very positive effect on the outcome of the elections. Other people are saying that his endorsed candidates didn't end up winning last night and that we need to move on from Donald Trump. I'm curious how you think the Trump effect hits election results.
Well, I think that the reason that a lot of Republicans like Donald Trump, and I consider myself one of them, is that people see him as a fighter. They know that ultimately when the campaign is over and he's in the midst of the swamp, that he's going to stand up and have the backs of the people that sent him there in the first place. And if you look at the brand problems with Republicans in the state of Missouri, there is a very clear feeling amongst the Republicans I'm talking to as I travel around the state that we have a lot of weak-kneed Republicans that are afraid to tackle the issues of crime in the city of St. Louis, to tackle the issues of bloated government down in Jefferson City, and are afraid to take on the big red policy ideas that are actually going to prosper this state moving forward. So, taking the name Donald Trump out of there is an opportunity for Republicans all over this country to step in and raise their hand to say, I'm going to be the fighter. I'm going to be the one that'll bring the reckoning in my state, whether that's a state like here in Missouri, where I'm trying to bring a reckoning to Jefferson City because we have a status quo down there that is every bit as dangerous as the status quo that Donald Trump is trying to defeat in Washington, D.C., or anywhere else in this country. I mean, what binds us together as Republicans are our policy ideas. So when I'm out there talking to folks about what we're going to do to protect their rights, I'm giving them specific policy proposals. We just talked about my policy proposal on protecting land in this state. I've got policy proposals to get rid of the machines in the state that hardly any Republican actually trusts anymore. I've got a proposal to get rid of personal property tax. I mean, we were spending a lot, as we should. We're talking a lot about defending life and the pro-life movement. As I said, I haven't had a single Republican tell me I need to be less pro-life, but I've got a lot of Republicans telling me about how much it's hurting them to actually have to pay rent to government for the crime of owning a car every December 1st.
Man, I can't. I hear what you're saying, and I just wish that we could have this type of representation in the state that I live in Illinois, because it's such a disaster in a blue state like Illinois, which really feels like our federal government right now mirrors more of what Illinois is doing. And in Missouri, you have the opportunity, you have the constituents, be it the governor statewide or in the 23rd district, to actually move forward these very principled conservative ideas. And it always frustrates me when I hear the conservatives who have been elected to government in Missouri, like, you were sent there by these people who have conservative principles, not act on them when they have the opportunity to effect actual change.
Right. Well, keep in mind, in the state of Missouri, Missouri has already decided in a number of continual elections that we want to be a red state. We want to be a big red state that does big red things. So the Democratic message is so toxic in Missouri because they're talking about everything from allowing abortions up to the moment of birth. They're talking about allowing the police to be defunded. They're talking about shoving all these terrible things down on our kids and indoctrinating in our schools. Missouri's going to decide they want to be a red. What we have to decide now is, what kind of Republican do we want? Do we want a Republican that's just going to tell you what you want to hear in campaign season and then simply vote for liberal big government policies when they get down to Jefferson City? Or do you want someone that's willing to be that fighter? And listen, I'm definitely guilty of being abrasive when it comes to me facing off with the swamp down there in Jefferson City, because there's probably nobody in Jefferson City that they hate. People in the hallways down there hate more than me, and that's okay, because the issues that I'm fighting for, getting rid of personal property tax or whatever it is, are the things that are going to prosper the state, not necessarily the status quo that is stagnating the state in the first place.
Yeah, the people of the state, and that's what small government is about, and I wish that we could as a party get back to it. Thanks for coming on and talking to us about that. Where can people find more information about this the bill that you're going to propose to get this land, or the constitutional amendment, I should say, that you're going to propose to get this land back in the hands of Americans?
Yeah, check out BillEigel.com. There's actually a place that people can go on the website and sign up to be a citizen co-sponsor of the event. So we let the folks down in Jefferson City know just how much support there is around the state. BillEigel.com. We've actually had over 30,000 people sign up just over the past 12 months. So a lot of folks, a lot of interest in all these policy ideas. It's going to be a big year next year.
That's a great idea. Thanks for talking to us about it. We appreciate it. Come back soon and give us an update.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Annie. Talk soon.
Yes, sounds fantastic. Missouri State Senator Bill Eigel, 23rd District in Missouri, candidate for governor, online at BillEigel.com to learn more. All right, let's take a quick break. I'm going to go around the room here, and we're going to discuss the YouTube live chat poll when I come back. How does Donald Trump impact election results? Is it positively, negatively, or not at all? Rick says Trump isn't impacting the vote as much as abortion is. Betsy on our YouTube says, doesn't affect, however, my vote fell to negative, so subtract one. Thanks, I appreciated that. Edward, well, no, I'm not going to do that one. Let's do Doug. Trump hurts the right. I cringe at the way he comes across on camera. He's childish, petty, and narcissistic. All of that sadly overshadows his policy and the outcome. Janine says positively, because he helps other representative candidates bring their A game and brings out how the Dems attack him legally with ridiculous claims. Your thoughts in the comments on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, your vote in the live chat poll on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and our thoughts on the poll when we come back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Now I'm going to tell you to go to sts-armory.com to learn more about where my family goes to shop for firearms, to shop for ammunition, to shop for accessories, safes. I've gotten all of that stuff from STS Armory, and you can trust the people right there in Pontoon Beach, Illinois, Katie and Jesse, to guide you through whatever it is you're trying to get. I have a family member who is very interested in conceal and carry classes. And then, of course, in Illinois, you got to first get your FOID card. If you walk into STS Armory and you're like, I've heard of a FOID card. What is it? What do I need to do? They're going to walk you through the whole process, never once judging you. They're going to be excited for you to help you go through this process and get yourself the education that you need to be a smart and compliant gun owner. When you want to do the conceal and carry classes to get the right certification you need to be able to carry in the state of Illinois, they will have the classes that you need, and they are the best. Go to sts-armory.com right now. This is an amazing holiday gift. Sign your loved one and yourself up to take a conceal and carry class this holiday season. You can gift it if you want, so that you can have this compliance, like I said, and knowledge base that you need to be confident when you carry. And if you are looking for a firearm, something specific, or not sure 100% what you need, STS Armory can walk you through that process as well. You can call them on the phone to schedule a class if you are looking to do that right away. It's 618-931-GUNS, 618-931-GUNS. They're located in Pontoon Beach, Illinois, and they're online at sts-armory.com.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews for Missouri Brush Control. If you have acreage and have always dreamed of having trails for walking, hiking, biking, horseback, or ATV riding, but that property is so overgrown it seems impossible, Missouri Brush Control can transform your acreage, leaving behind beautiful mulch trails just like you've seen in state parks, and they can do it in hours with their specialized forestry machines. Learn more about this eco-friendly land clearing method at MissouriBrushControl.com and enjoy your land like you've always dreamed of. That's MissouriBrushControl.com.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want?
I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now, get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever at bartesian.com/sips. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. Now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever. It's available right now only at bartesian.com/sips. That's BARTESIAN.com/sips for Bartesian's best deal ever. Only at bartesian.com/sips.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Siding Express can totally transform the look of your home by installing Hardy Shake, board and batten, or a stone accent to make it your dream home. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardy contractor. Go to sidingexpress.com to schedule a free no-obligation consultation today.
The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll of the day. How does Donald Trump impact election results positively, negatively, or not at all? We're talking about these things pretty much all day. We'd like you to weigh in, too. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube live chat and let us know your comments while voting. 1:48 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Not just right and left, right and wrong. We're discussing it every day on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're happy to be with you. We've had a packed show so far. We had Chairman Jason Smith, Representative Jason Smith on, and we talked about the censure of Rashida Tlaib. We talked about the impeachment proceedings potentially for Joe Biden and also the investigations into Joe Biden. We talked about the House and the speakership and where they are right now. So that was a really interesting conversation with him if you want to check the Annie Frey Show podcast. We talked to Deroy Murdock about the trending away from Joe Biden support from black voters and the problems that potentially ensue from there as that support seems to be heading towards Donald Trump. And we just finished talking with Missouri State Senator Bill Eigel, and he was talking about how foreign entities, specifically China, they own 42,000 acres of land in Missouri. He's got a problem with that. I think a lot of you do as well. And he's working on getting a constitutional amendment on the ballot so that we can work in Missouri to get that land back in American ownership. So if you're not subscribed to the Annie Frey Show podcast, maybe you want to. Maybe you want to subscribe to the Annie Frey Show podcast so you can hear an entire segment of Ryan Wiggins doing Hulk Hogan at 12:45.
It was not quite an entire segment. I don't want to get people's hopes up.
It is undoubtedly the most Hulk Hogan that has ever been done on this show.
It's the most Hulk Hogan that's been done in any segment today, for sure.
Probably in radio.
Yeah, like across the country.
Not here.
Yeah.
Just radio.
Yeah, if you want to survey the entire country radio and be like, who's leaning into Hulk Hogan today the most? It would be us. We win.
Maybe this is our breakout moment.
This is it.
We are going to find the niche of Hulk Hogan conservative talk radio crossover that has not been tapped into yet.
And we're going to get, just like we normally do, in the live chat, we're going to have a bunch of Macho Man Randy Savage people showing up, trying to ruin the party.
Is that a thing?
I don't know how deep the rivalry was. Brad, do you know?
It was pretty deep.
I thought it was, but I was not. I'm not.
Mr.
A
T
huge
was Pity the
guy.
Fool, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And he's not even a wrestler.
I was going to say, is that the same thing? It's not.
No, that's the A-Team. That was a TV show.
Don't laugh at me.
I'm not. I'm
I was
laughing at
pretty excited that I knew Pity the Fool was Mr. T.
I'm not laughing at
Why
you at all.
wasn't he wrestling? He should have been.
I mean, he had every characteristic you needed to be a wrestler.
Don't know what the A-Team is, and I'm going to be honest, I really don't. If you don't know what the A-Team is and you just saw Mr. T and you knew the era he came out with, are you not automatically thinking wrestler?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
Or that he was in He-Man the movie. One of those two things. Because anybody in that movie also looked like a wrestler.
He was also a boxer.
Mr. T was?
Yeah, Clubber Lang beat up Rocky.
I don't even know what words you're talking about right now.
I don't either.
Okay.
Clubber Lang?
Clubber Lang was his name.
Really?
He was in, I think it was Rocky 3.
Oh, okay. He wasn't a real boxer.
No.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
On the Annie Frey YouTube channel, the YouTube live chat poll is, how does Donald Trump impact election results, positively, negatively, or not at all? Carbonated water on Twitch, who we've never seen on Twitch before. We usually have 3 people on Twitch total, and one of them hates us. Actually, maybe 2 of them do. It's hard to tell. We think it's the same person. But carbonated water has a very articulate comment on the how does Donald Trump impact elections results answer here. He says, to answer your poll question, I suppose, wouldn't it be funny if this was the same person who also just comes on every day to troll us and tell us how much we suck? It's like the longest comment ever. He's
Just
like,
FYI, this is the same guy.
Yeah,
different
Brad,
name.
you're completely worthless. Ryan, don't know why you breathe oxygen, and Annie, you're the ugliest person I've ever had. But
to sum up,
to answer your poll question, no, it's probably
Dear
somebody different.
idiots.
Yes. He says, I suppose it has to do with your own bias. With addition of the bias of said polls, the old adage is, quote, any publicity is good publicity. So with using that as a baseline, I'd ultimately say that he is good for the overall election process. Engagement is the main issue we see with the population when it comes to civics. The more good and bad publicity he also draws people into educating themselves on the whole process, which I think we can all agree with, which is such a well thought out comment.
Thank you.
The next
Twitch.
thing carbonated water says is, you're the worst. What do you think? Positively, negatively, not at all, Trump effect on elections?
The negative effect that he's had has been when he gets involved in a primary. He picks candidates who are as much like him as he can, which I totally understand, but they have had not a great record. When he gets involved after the primary, he's done pretty well. Not great, but not bad. So I would say, based on all of that data, I'm going to say net negative just because he's gotten involved in the wrong spots.
Nobody, I mean, if you win the semifinal of the tournament and get trounced in the championship, you are at best third place.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a winner if you can't see it through. That's an interesting. I did not have you pegged negatively. What do you think, Brad?
I am a solid negatively. I don't know that the Republican Party has done a whole lot of winning since 2018, and he's been involved in some way or another in all of those. And I don't know that despite his, you talked a little bit about the Georgia Senate runoff.
That one, like every time I think of it, makes me really mad.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just stuff like that. He brings out, he drives turnout, no doubt. But man, people don't like him. And I think a lot of that turnout, 2020 is a great example of that. A lot of that turnout is just from people who don't like him.
We have over 200 votes right now on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Should I do break standard process right now and read the results at 2:00 and right now and do them again at the end of the show?
Yeah, I think you should.
I don't know. I never do this.
No.
I actually don't even look at them till the
This
end
is
of the
a
show.
really good question, though, because it's hard to answer.
Mm-hmm.
How does Donald Trump impact elections? The results right now, we don't end the poll until we read it at the end of the show. So you're going to keep in touch there. Before, they were almost even. Right now, 20% say not at all, 30% say positively, 50% say negatively.
No kidding.
I'm saying negatively, but with a caveat. Do you remember the Obama record of endorsements and how when you looked at how many offices the Democrats lost during Obama's presidency and his influence, it was catastrophic for Democrats. So it really is. I don't know that I think people want to pin this on Donald Trump uniquely. I don't think that it's unique. I do think it would be smart for him to stay out of it. I wish that he were impacting it not at all. I wish he weren't getting involved in the primary specifically or in these races and giving endorsements. I understand the value it means for some people, but if the argument from the pro-Trump people is that Trump needs to be on the ballot, if Trump's not on the ballot, he should stay out of it. I don't think it's uniquely Trump, though, because Obama's record was horrendous in endorsements, so much that they said, leave us alone. I'm going to tell you why abortion for the GOP needs to change when we come back.
Hi, it's Guy from the Good Feet store. Listen, if you've been suffering with knee, hip, or back pain, I've got news for you. The problem may be right under your nose. I'm talking about your feet. Think about it. Your whole body is supported by your feet, right? So if they're out of alignment, that could cause issues, not just in your feet, but your knees, hips, even your back. The Good Feet system helps put your feet in your ideal position. And once you do that, everything from there on up just might work better. I'm sure you've been frustrated trying all kinds of things to relieve a foot, knee, back, or hip pain, but maybe the solution was right in front of you the whole time at the Good Feet store. Just stop in and meet with one of our specialists who will personally fit you with the perfect arch support system. They'll let you walk around, try it for free, then you decide if they work for you before you buy. How great is that? Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations in Creve Coeur and Shiloh, Illinois, and at goodfeetstlouis.com. Find what you've been missing at the Good Feet store.
Ruler Foods is where we go to save money, and Lord knows in this economy we need to save money. especially when you got a new car to buy. But that's a different conversation for a different time. Sorry, kids, we're going to be eating a lot of cheaper food, but happy kids, we're going to get cheap Jack's Pizzas. That's when they get happy. Jack's Pizzas are on sale at Ruler Foods, so go and save 2 for $6. If you can get a $3 Jack's Pizza, I think that's a pretty good deal right now. If you're looking to make chili, I want you to understand they have great savings on everything you need for chili making. Also, at this time, go find their savings on ready-to-serve soup, 2 for $3. Kroger mashed potatoes or macaroni and cheese, $2.49. Boneless pork tenderloins, we just had pork tenderloin last night in my house, $2.99 a pound. And if you're making those lunches for the kiddos or for yourself, Land of Frost sliced premium meat, we buy it all the time, 16 ounces, $4.99. Find the Ruler Foods closest to you. Don't sleep on Ruler Foods. Just walk around the store and see if they've got what you need. I know they do. RulerFoods.com.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, visit mersgoodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
What better way to support your nutrition than with the multivitamin that was created right here in St. Louis? Neovitin Original Multivitamin was created by St. Louis physician Dr. Ibicki to support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Now, Neovitin Original Multivitamin is formulated with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Ibicki's proprietary blend to give you nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Neovitin is now conveniently available through our no-obligation monthly subscription. Cancel or pause at any time, and shipping is free. Support your nutrition with a subscription to Neovitin at neovitin.com today.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A probe of the president's family escalates. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The House Oversight Committee issuing subpoenas for the president's son Hunter and brother James. Committee Chair James Comer had previously subpoenaed their bank records and says President Biden had received 2 checks from his brother's account.
Those checks both were labeled in the memo section of the check as loan repayments, but James Comer says the White House is not providing those documents that would prove that those were actual loans. And the money actually came on days that the Biden family was obtaining money from Chinese business companies and more. So Comer's been laying all of this out and following the money.
Fox's Brooke Singman. The subpoenas include a business associate of James and Hunter Biden. Comer's also requesting transcribed interviews with their wives and the widow of the president's late son, Beau, who was later romantically linked to Hunter. White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says this isn't what lawmakers should be doing.
National security, the economy, health care, gun violence, that's what we should be focusing on. But they continue to try to smear this president and his family on a baseless investigation.
The president has denied any involvement in his son's business dealings. Israel's spy agency just announcing a suspected plan by Iran-backed Hezbollah to attack Jewish sites in Brazil has been foiled. They worked with Brazilian security services and other international agencies on that. The White House still pushing for humanitarian pauses in Israel's fighting with Hamas while opposing a general ceasefire, saying it would help Hamas.
A ceasefire not only gives them time to plan and execute, but it legitimizes what they started on October 7th. And that's unacceptable to President Biden. It's certainly unacceptable, understandably so, to the Israeli people. A pause is, as I said, temporary, localized, specific purpose.
Including, says National Security Advisor John Kirby, efforts to get all hostages out of Gaza. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
At Simply Safe Home Security, your safety is the only thing that matters. That's why you get 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day, because every home deserves to be protected. Right now, get 50% off the whole home security system named the best of 2023 by U.S. News and World Report. Visit simplysafe.com/radio to save big today. Advanced Home Security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Still on the warm side going through our Wednesday afternoon. Mostly sunny skies, though some clouds will be increasing as we go through the afternoon hours. It's windy and it's warm. 82 for the high. Tonight, clouds dominate. Couple of limited light showers, 52 degrees. On Thursday, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Couple of showers here and there. It's cooler. Back to where we should be Thursday, 59. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Stop wondering if you have enough money to retire comfortably. Because if you're wondering, that means you don't know. And a lot of times when we wonder about things, we fret about them. And the real antidote to that fear is information. And that's why you call the Retirement Advisory Group, just to get information. It doesn't cost you anything. You can have a free conversation with them about what you have amassed and how long it can provide for you in retirement. And make sure that you understand how Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, Tammy Kershaw at the Retirement Advisory Group will work with you to protect it. If you're nearing retirement and you wonder how long your money is going to last, if it's going to last, or maybe you're going to have a more comfortable retirement than you expected, the Retirement Advisory Group can guide you through this process. Don't worry about losing your nest egg. Don't worry about what you have and what you need when you don't have all of the information yet. Get it by calling the Retirement Advisory Group, and they'll set you up with a free conversation. You can talk to them, have a consultation with no obligation whatsoever. 314-993-9494, online at retirementkey.com.
The IRS definitely ramped up operations since the pandemic slowed them down, and activity only increases from here. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. If you're currently under audit or you haven't paid your taxes in the past, now's the time to call the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS has a published Taxpayer Bill of Rights, which says you have the right to retain legal representation, because IRS problems are legal problems, and the Lance Story Law Firm focuses specifically on addressing IRS issues for our clients. It's all we do. We get out in front of the IRS, devise the best resolution plan, and work to make sure you're able to take advantage of every program you're qualified to receive. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure company, call the Lance Story Law Firm. We're local, located right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-238-7360.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is celebrating veterans this November. Mark Cox here. Overhead Door Company is doubling their usual veterans discount on all products and services for November. That means veterans and active military get 10% off all month at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Choose a new garage door opener, or any service or repair, and save 10%. Call them at 314-781-5200 or go to overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family. Available at Walmart and other participating retailers. Learn more at exergen.com.
This is Kim St. Ange with the Mark Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk. I can see clearly now thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra with Ophthalmology Associates, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Are we one of your top presets?
You were giving off that vibe, so if you want to take it to that level.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, the YouTube live chat poll for our show today is, how does Donald Trump impact election results? Is it positively, negatively, or not at all? The votes continue to come in, and negatively is at 51%. So right now there's a majority of people with 215 votes in that say negatively. I'll be curious to see if that changes at all. By the end of the show, we'll give you the full results at that point. You can go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, the live chat of today's live broadcast. Just make sure you have live chat checked there instead of top chat, and you will be able to see the poll. Go vote. Tell us what you think. I think one of these comments that we got from the poll today really is setting me up for what I want to talk about right now. And BLR says, Annie, love your show, but until our party faces the fact that abortion is driving our losses, we will never win. I know it's a topic you're passionate about, but that is what is driving these results. Now, that comment is made in a way that suggests that in order for the party to do what it needs to do to win, that what I advocate for isn't possible. And I think that that's a really good comment. And I appreciate that BLR put that up there, because I think it's time that as a party we clarify what our position is. And it really is a come to Jesus on everything that has to do with politics. People view elections as a Super Bowl of where we are as a party. And I understand that. It's not untrue to say that an election where we count votes for one side and we count votes for the other side, that, that's going to tell us what direction the country is going to go in. But in no way, shape, or form does that affirm that whomever wins that election is right. I can think of a lot of instances where the majority was in the wrong. So let's talk about the abortion issue. If you're new to this show, if you've never heard me talk about abortion, if you've never heard me talk about being pro-life or pro-choice or pro-abortion, those are three different categories that we have with people right now. I'm adamantly pro-life. I am actively pro-life. I'm going to pair this conversation with something that I have continued to say here in the last couple months emphatically. We have to stop waiting for the man or the woman wearing the red shirt to get elected to office to think that we can solve our problems. It is the least conservative principle to think that we need to get our government right so that things in America can get better. It's not the only way that we can make America better. And the thing that makes America great is that we can make America great outside of our government. We don't have to stand in line and wait to do what we're told and ask for what we have in this country. No, it's actually the other way around. The government does what we say, and we decide that through elections. Abortion is not a problem that is going to be solved through politics. It isn't. The fight to overturn Roe v. Wade was something that I think a lot of people didn't think they'd see in their lifetime. So much so that when it actually happened last year, we didn't know what to do with ourselves. And the truth is, and I learned this from Abby Johnson when she spoke at a Vitae Foundation event, the overturning of Roe v. Wade took the pro-life battle from the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. to 50 different states who can make up their mind in 50 different ways. If we elect an all-Republican government, you are not going to have a blanket all-Republican support to end abortion in this country. It is time that Republicans stop thinking of abortion as a political issue and start thinking of it as a cultural issue. And we have to fix our culture, and politics will catch up. That's just the way it's going to be. Where we are on abortion as a country right now is directly reflective of where we've been as a culture for decades. We have to get the culture in a position of care and concern for the woman who has the legal right to choose life. In that sense, I am adamantly pro-choice. And the pro-abortion community doesn't want to hear people say you have the option to choose life. Yes, you have a choice. Yes, it's up to you. Yes, you're scared. Yes, you're afraid you don't have the resources. Yes, this isn't what you had planned, but you can still choose life. The policies that Americans need to be thinking about right now, they need to completely walk away from the idea of making abortion illegal. And we need to sprint in the direction of making abortion unthinkable. We need to, as Republicans, before you even ask a politician to show up to be involved in anything, be at the doorsteps of women's facilities where these women need help, and we need to help them without any government program showing up. We need to hug them without any government mandate or subsidy to provide. We need to be there to help these women with our hearts and our prayers, and we need to be there all the time. Abortion is going to get worse in America as we continue as Republicans to lose on the political issue at the ballot box. If you doubt me on that, if you think that stepping back from the political fight to make abortion illegal, if you think that stepping away from that is in somehow way, shape, or form going to encourage abortions in America, you are wrong. Look at the state of Illinois. In the state of Illinois, you can get an abortion as a minor without any sort of parental consent or parental notification up till birth. And before you even utter the words, Annie, that doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen, why are we so adamant about making it legal? In Ohio, they vote to make abortion available up till birth. You're 39 weeks and 6 days pregnant, and you're dilated 6 centimeters, ready to go. That is still an abortable baby. Annie, nobody wants to abort that baby. Then why are we making it legal? Why? Because it's not actually about abortion. It's about controlling people in the political world. We have to take that away from them. We have to do it to save the babies. We cannot give the political capital to the left, who worship at the altar of abortion. It is sacrilegious how the Democrats, who have their stronghold around this issue, use it so that they can retain political power. Think about what they are sacrificing to retain political power. The more we lose on this issue at the ballot box, the less chance we have to affect any actual change. And I am here to tell you that your voice and your hands and your dollar can do more without getting the government involved to actually, if your actual point is to save the lives of babies, go to the Hope Clinic in Granite City. Go to the Planned Parenthood on 55 and 159 and be there. And help those women. Give them an actual choice, something that the anti-choice part of our political voting apparatus, they are super anti-choice because the only choice is abortion. There is a whole group of people, a whole massive, in my opinion, vast majority of people who detest abortion and will never, ever vote to take the choice away from a woman. That is real. This issue can be fought in the state legislatures. This issue can be battled in 50 different battlegrounds, which is what it is right now, post Roe v. Wade. But forget about the politicians. Forget about the politics. We will not make abortion illegal in this country. It's not going to happen. And we are not going to create an environment where the babies that are born are going to be able to thrive when we watch how the Democrats continue to destroy this country, a la Joe Biden and his administration. It's not going to get fixed with government. Very rarely do our greatest issues and concerns in this country have a solution that lies in the next government program. That's just not happening. And it's not the way conservatives should be thinking about these things. We can actually, if your pro-life heart and soul is actually squarely focused on saving the lives of babies, you have to get involved. For real, you. Not them, not the proverbial they and them. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to myself. I'm raising my kids actively to see what abortion is and to understand. You're raised in a Christian home. You're raised to understand the sanctity of marriage. You know all these things, but I'm not stupid. I know how the world works. We all make mistakes, and my older two children understand that if they ever make that kind of mistake, that the first person they come talk to is their father or their mother because we love them. And that is an uncomfortable conversation to have. But when they're asking me about abortion and people want to paint this picture of a unwed young mother thinking it's a 16-year-old kid that's scared, that's not where all abortions are happening. There are 38-year-old, 39-year-old women who have 4 children. I'm just painting the picture of myself here because if I got pregnant right now and I was about to have a 5th child, they would scare the hell out of me. And if abortion is something that people are out there telling you, it's your choice. Empower yourself to have that choice. Do what's best for you. We need to be a community of people in the pro-life community that detaches itself from politics. We need to remove ourselves from politics because it's what you have to do to save these children. I wrote this last night on Twitter because a lot of people are talking about the abortion thing. And here's the thing. You're not going to make me any less pro-life. That's not happening. And the people out there who are politically saying, get rid of, like, I read something from Tomi Lahren. She's been on this show, but she said something like, the Republican Party has to do something about the abortion issue. Shriek all you want about abortion. I got a problem with that because I'm going to advocate for the lives of the unborn until the day that I am no longer alive. That is not changing. But if we want to continue to run into the solid brick wall of thinking that we're going to go fix this problem through government, we are going to have the headache the entire time. We're never going to break through that wall. We're not going to save these babies. It's not the political route that is going to solve this problem. I wrote this last night on Twitter. I encourage you to check it out if you're a Twitter person, because I want more people to think of it this way. I said King Solomon's solution to 2 women claiming rightful motherhood of a baby was to cut the baby in half. To cut the baby in half. That is a murderous solution. King Solomon, supposed to be the wisest person to ever walk the face of the planet. 2 women claim to be the mother of a baby. The King Solomon says, well, there's only one way to solve this problem. We'll cut the baby in half. You have half, you have half. What does the woman who is the natural mother do in that instance? Absolutely not. Do not cut that baby in half. Give that baby to the other woman. That's what a mother would do. King Solomon then knew what to do with this child. Now, in my mind, King Solomon's solution, maybe he thought this is a great idea, and then maybe neither of the women agree to it, and then you got to ask him, what's he going to do? Is he going to follow through with it? I'd like to think he wouldn't. But the solution to determining how to save the life of this baby and give this baby to its rightful mother was to cut the baby in half. It's a murderous solution by King Solomon in the Bible. But he saved the baby by permitting the death of the baby. We are not going to succeed at making abortion illegal. We must make it unthinkable. That's the only way out here. And if you feel as though retreating from the political battle is somehow or another giving in to the pro-abortion community, they want you talking about pro-life issues at every election turn. They want you screaming about it. They want you present about it because that's how they win. The worst thing that could happen to the pro-abortion community is we change the culture. And we as conservatives, as religious organizations, as community organizations, show up to help these women choose life. And if we want to advocate for policy from our lawmakers, then fund adoption fully. Support unwed mothers who choose life and choose to raise this child. Yes, subsidize childcare so that they can get a career, so that they can get a skill that can help provide for them and for their baby. Give these women hope. The only way out of this situation to actually ultimately save the lives of babies is to do it one baby at a time and one mother at a time. And it's going to be a lot of work. But I can't really think of more valuable work and more valuable effort. It starts with you, and it starts with me, and it starts today. We cannot lose more elections at the ballot box on this issue, and our losing is making the issue worse in this country. We have to pivot, and we have to do it for the lives of these unborn. That's all I have to say about that. Let's take a quick break. You guys can react to that when we come back if you want to. You don't have to. I'm going to read the comments now on the break. See if I made anybody mad. Did I make you mad?
Not at all.
Not at all? Okay. All right. Let's get a little more Annie Frey show on the other end here. The YouTube live chat poll results still coming in. Lots of votes. Need yours. Annie Frey YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
Y'all know it's just a song, but it's fine. For the recipe, this is a love attack. I know when
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
if you got the goods, they'll come and buy it just to stay in the click. So don't delay, act now, supplies are running out. Allow if you're still alive, 6 to 8 years to arrive. And if you follow the may be out tomorrow, but if we are to shine, you might as well be walking on the sun.
Well, you can give the gift of health to yourself this season. Lose weight at Slim 180. 6 weeks, and you are looking at Christmas. That's about how far we are from Christmas. How about losing up to 20 pounds in 6 weeks? You've heard of the semaglutide, the tirzepatide, these injections that are helping people eat less, get healthy, and lose weight. Do it in a way that is counseled, that is supervised. It's Slim 180. And when you get the medications from Slim 180, you're going to get them for a lot less than you are directly from the pharmacy. If you go online, you can register for a free consultation by going to myslim180.com. You're going to get a $25 off an appointment. Mention my name and save 20% on a nutritional guidance program, Crave program, or Regenerate weight loss program. Plus, this is a really big deal for right now. They take your FSA dollars. So if you have FSA dollars that are going to expire and you're not sure how you are going to spend them, lose the weight and get healthy once and for all. Give this gift to yourself. Reach out to Slim 180 online at myslim180.com and ask them how they can help you lose the weight. You can check out their reviews. They have a ton of wonderful reviews online as well. It's the real deal. Go online to myslim180.com.
Hey everyone, this is Richard Deitch, and I host the sports media The Richard Deitch Podcast. What can you expect from this podcast? Well, each week I'll have interviews and in-depth conversations with the people who bring you the sports you love, as well as roundtables with sports media reporters about television, digital, audio, radio, print, and other forms of media. If you are interested in sports broadcasting and how you watch, listen, and read about the games you love, listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
This station is now conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is
It's hard to believe, but the holidays are right around the corner. Can you imagine the joy on Abuela's face when you sit down for the holiday meal and chat with her in Spanish? Or drop off some cookies at your neighbor's house and chat in Mandarin? With Rosetta Stone, it's possible. Rosetta Stone's immersive method helps prepare you for conversations in the real world, whether that's connecting with friends and family or taking the trip of your dreams. The Rosetta Stone Unlimited subscription provides access to all 25 of Rosetta Stone's languages forever, so you don't have to pick just one. And their award-winning app features immersive 10-minute lessons to fit into even the busiest day. Plus, every subscription now comes with access to live lessons. where expert tutors teach you fun new words related to local holidays, cultural traditions, food and drink, and more. Don't wait. Visit rosettastone.com/radio today to score 50% off, now through November 22nd. That's rosettastone.com/radio.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering how long your money will last? Are you also sick of worrying about losing your life savings in the next market crash? I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. Let us build your own personalized structured income plan, which will show you how much income you can receive in retirement, but more importantly, it will show you how long your money will last. Stop wondering if you have enough to retire comfortably.
Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll teach you the strategies you won't hear from your broker or banker. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping our clients retire with confidence for the past 37 years. Let us help you. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save up to $3,500 with double carrier cool cash rebates on a qualifying high-efficiency furnace or HVAC system. For details, get into your comfort zone, aircomfortservice.com.
If you use a smart speaker, you can listen to 97.1 easier than ever. Just tell it to play 97.1 FM Talk. Or download the Odyssey app for your phone and stream the station whenever, wherever.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the gangster of love. Some people
This
call
is
me
the Annie Frey Show.
Maurice.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
People talking about me, baby. Say I'm doing you wrong, doing you wrong. Well, don't you worry, baby, don't worry. Cause I'm right here, right here, right here, right here at home. Cause I'm a picker.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I just laid out my thoughts on abortion. I mean, I'm still anti-abortion. I don't think anything I said conflicts with being anti-abortion. But I don't think it's a political issue. I think Republican Party needs to drop it as a political issue on a national level. It's a state battle. If you want to make your state have laws because it fits your state to have specific laws, Missouri, Illinois, a good example. People on each side of that Mississippi River feel very differently about the issue. Then advocate at the state level, but it just can't be a part of a national campaign anymore, which I think is what Donald Trump, his position on the issue has been. And they've criticized Ron DeSantis for his position, and Ron DeSantis was in Florida. And I just don't know how you can look at Florida right now. They're the only place where the Republican Party is getting it right on a statewide level. They got it. They have their election secure. They know what they're doing. They're resoundingly victorious in Florida. We have to move from the idea of abortion being illegal into making abortion unthinkable. And it's going to take a lot of hard work from people who want to advocate for life. There's a lot of people out there working hard right now. We need more people working towards it. And we need more solutions in government that fund what happens when a woman chooses life. And adoption is at the core of it. Our adoption system in this country is a jacked up joke. Scooter commented on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, most women don't have abortions. I don't really know how Scooter comes up with that, and I don't know, at what number he would advocate for most. So I'm not sure what percentage he's okay with. There's no way for me to infer that. Most women don't have abortion. Look at birth rates. Do we really want more teen moms? Well, Scooter, I have a question for you. I wonder what percentage of teen moms were born to teen moms. Because I bet it's pretty high. I wonder if those teen moms-to-be wish that they were never born. How do you break the cycle? I guess you just kill it. I don't really understand, Scooter, what the point is. Do we really want more teen moms?
or children born into poverty. You have to ask the question, Scooter. The alternative is death of a baby. And if that's what you're advocating for, then just say those words out loud, because I certainly am not. I think a lot of people are thinking that abortion is a huge part of what is plaguing the Republicans, especially in these smaller election cycles where more focus and amplification can be centered around the abortion issue. Ryan, your thoughts on what I said in the last segment, or your thoughts on the issue as a whole?
Well, politically speaking, and this is strictly politically, I believe that what we're going to see is not just this sudden backlash against Roe versus Wade, that you have big Democrat turnout. This is anytime there's a big monumental change in culture, society, especially one that comes through politics so suddenly like Roe versus Wade did. You're going to see that pendulum swing back hard against it. You saw it with something as it's still consequential, but not quite as consequential as abortion with Obamacare. I mean, in 2009, they passed Obamacare, and it changed the way we do healthcare in this country, and Republicans ran on it for a decade. I mean, and they won a lot doing that. So there's always this pushback.
Healthcare needs to happen. It's how you do healthcare. Abortion is different.
Completely agree. I'm just saying whenever something monumental happens, there's usually a big swing back against it politically. And I think that's what we're seeing right now, is that Democrats, especially progressive Democrat voters, are motivated to turn out more than Republicans who just got what we view as a win politically on the issue.
So you're saying that the swing back is what the Democrats are doing, not what the Republicans need to wait for, because they're gonna play this fiddle till it doesn't play anymore.
That's correct. That is exactly
so.
Right.
The Republicans have to figure out what they're going to do. Brad, there's no element of limiting abortion on a national scale that is winning anywhere.
No. Not at all. And it's incredibly frustrating to me, because it just seems like there's this bloodlust for people that want this access. They want the right to have the ability to end their pregnancies.
It's not even, I mean, a lot of the advocates that you see out of there are not even people who can actually have babies.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's why I'm saying, like, I think this is more of a almost cultural movement that they don't even know, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them don't even really know what they're voting for when they're talking about abortion. They're just, it's like, oh, this is a big right-wing thing, so I'm going to come against it.
I don't even know that it's that. I think that it's being painted as an issue where they're saying these Republican men want to control you and your body, and they want you nothing more than barefoot and pregnant and in the kitchen. They're trying to take us back to the 1920s or whatever their thoughts are. But my thing is this, and I told you this earlier, Ryan, this desire to have pro-choice in this isn't born out of like a care for women. This is a heart issue. And if I've learned one thing in my life, and if I've learned one thing in ministry, is you cannot legislate heart change. You cannot make it a law to stop people from wanting to do like horrible things like this. They see this is my body, this is my choice, but we've never ever had the conversation of when is it somebody else's body? Because at some point, what you're saying is your body becomes somebody else's body.
Yeah, but the issue isn't, we're not going to change anybody's mind, making them believe that it is an autonomous body. We need to change their mind by saying that there's hope if you choose life.
Well, if that's what the majority of it is. I mean, do you think the majority of abortions are born out of hopelessness?
That's an interesting way of saying it, but are not born?
Well, but that's where they come from. They look at this and say, this is a hopeless situation.
It's fear. They're not provided information. I mean, why is the Democrat Party so emphatic about not wanting women to see ultrasounds? Why? Why would you want to take science, not the science, away from these women when they're in this position? Because I promise you, there will come a time later in their life, should they have a baby that they prepared for, where they are going to match those two experiences, and they're going to say, good grief, I was 12 weeks in when I had my abortion, and I'm 12 weeks now, and I'm happy about this child, and they're going to go see fingers and toes and a beating heart that they're going to hear. And they're going to know. They're not going to disassociate those things. Those women are being deceived. It is deceit. It's evil. And it's not a political issue to fix. Here's Kayleigh McEnany.
One other point I would just make, because On the issue of abortion, in Ohio tonight, we continue the losing streak in the pro-life movement. Every ballot initiative has been lost post-Dobbs for the pro-life movement. As a party, Sean, we must not just be a pro-baby party. That's a great thing. We must be a pro-mother party. We need a national strategy. And I talked to Mike Johnson about this. We'll air that tomorrow on Outnumbered. There's legislation we must put forward as a party to support women. And it's out there. Senator Rubio's laid it out, but we've got to get Trump behind it, the Speaker of the House behind it, and have a national strategy to help vulnerable women, because the results of next year's election could be determined by that.
She's 100% spot on. And if you want to be talking about policy, if you want to be talking about legislation, we got to step away from the legality of abortion. There are a lot of things that are legal to do that are morally reprehensible, questionable, but the legality still is there. And you can stand on principle, you can stand on the idea that abortion is wrong and it is murder and, all of those things. But if you stubbornly stand in that place and refuse to move and evolve in a way that will actually affect women in that frightened moment where they have to choose what to do with the life of this baby. If you're too stubborn and too rigid to move from that place where it's wrong and it should be illegal, I agree with that 100%, but it's not effective. And if it's not effective, we have to be better. I actually kind of think this is easier than people making it out to be.
I like what you said about it being a movement that's almost, it really is outside of politics. I've been feeling the same thing lately. I know I just used the F word, but I've been feeling that. And I think it's because I've spent 5 years, and not that this has to be your background, but I spent 5 years in conservative media now. Spent 7 years in Christian media. These are big organizations where you deal with lots of different groups of people, and that this is a movement. The pro-life movement is a movement that is born out of very, very deep love. And the people who get involved with this movement, not just the voters, I mean the people who get involved with the movement, these are people who love people. They love babies, but they love babies because babies are people. They love people.
Yeah.
And they run ministries and they get volunteers. And I'm talking unpaid volunteers to come be a part of ministries that sometimes aren't even directly associated with abortion. We talk about like the people who are right there at the moment. But there's so much larger scale ministry happening across, especially Missouri, but in Illinois too, in the St. Louis area. People who run ministries for abused women, and they can't really advertise a whole lot because the abused women need shelter. They need to go somewhere where they're kind of off the grid for a little bit. These are deeply ingrained ministries, and the people that I've met over the last 20 years who are driven to be a part of, sometimes start or even just volunteer with these organizations, they just love and want to help. And the picture that's painted of those people is so backwards and so unfortunate that it, I don't want to say it makes me mad, but it does make me very... It
infuriates me.
It makes me very sad because after meeting them and knowing what they're doing and even sacrificing their own image because they're tarnished so badly by the left because of the politics, I just hope that we can at some point start to see this for what it is.
Scooter's follow-up, he says, I think we have to move away from the idea that recreational sex is a punishable offense. Scooter, maybe we should move towards the idea that recreational sex has consequences and that it's an action where the consequences should be considered just like every other action. Maybe. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Gateway ENT, ear, nose, and throat concerns, sinus pressure that is always there, trouble with your breathing, making sure that you can, wake up in the morning refreshed because you slept well, because your sinuses weren't bothering you all night. These are things that Gateway ENT can help you with. A constant ringing in your ears or maybe diminished hearing in one ear? Reach out to Gateway ENT. They are a private practice ear, nose, and throat group that's ready to see you right away. 314-843-3828 is the number to call to schedule an appointment. You're going to be able to be seen quickly. When you call Gateway ENT, mention the Annie Frey Show, and they're going to work you in as quickly as possible so that you can finally, once and for all, get to the bottom of that issue that has been plaguing you in your ear, nose, or throat area. They care for children, they care for adults, and they care for you as soon as you call. 314-843-3828. They are a cost-effective and convenient alternative to ENT practices that are employed by large hospital systems. It's an economical, smart move to go to Gateway ENT to get these issues concerned because their private practice setup makes it very convenient for them to be able to service you and your needs at the time of your need. Expect great customer service from any medical practice, but especially at Gateway ENT. They take the time to get to know their patients so that when you were there, you were going to feel paid attention to and get the treatment that you need to take care of your ENT issue that you came to see them with. 314-843-3828, 314-843-3828, online at gatewaydrs.com.
Grammy-nominated Joe Bonamassa, hailed as one of the world's greatest guitar players. Blues rock titan, Joe Bonamassa. Performing live on Saturday, November 11th at the Fabulous Fox. Tickets on sale now at fabulousfox.com. Joe Bonamassa. Don't miss the guitar event of the year.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, Board and Batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today. sidingexpress.com.
The Capitol Grill is effortlessly arranged and customized for you. Whether it's a private room, an elegant table setting, dry-aged steaks paired with world-class wines, or an intimate party or business reception, make this part of your memorable private dining experience this holiday season. Every private dining room is elegantly appointed and offers seating capacities that range from 12 to 60. For reservations, call the Capitol Grill in Clayton today, 314-725-0930, or visit thecapitolgrill.com.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Have you ever wondered how America's most successful people build their wealth? By investing in tax liens. And you can too. The Tax Lien Code Masterclass is coming right here to St. Louis, where you'll have the opportunity to learn the same simple blueprint that tax lien investor Brian Peterson and his partners have used to purchase over $40 million in tax liens. With tax lien investing, you can earn government-secured double-digit returns on your investment as high as 30%. And that's just the beginning. Listen, if you've ever been interested in real estate investing but weren't sure how to get started, this is your chance. No prior experience needed. For 2 free tickets to the 2-hour Tax Lien Code Masterclass right here in St. Louis, text EARN to 26022. Hurry, with high demand, seats will fill up. Text EARN to 26022. Get 2 free tickets now. Text EARN to 26022.
Refresh, restore, and protect your investment. Call Zero Res to clean your business the right way so your floors and surfaces stay cleaner longer without the harmful chemicals the other guys use. Tell them Mark Reardon sent you. Call 314-474-2020 or book online anytime at ZeroResSTL.com.
As we said before, the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll of the day has caused a lot of discussions. That means it's a good question because we don't know the answer, but we want to know what you think. Maybe we can come to a consensus. How does Donald Trump impact election results? Positively, negatively, or not at all? We've given you the results halfway through the show, which we don't normally do. We'll give you the full results here in just a minute, and leave a comment and let us know why you're voting, how you're voting on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. The time is 2:47. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
TrumpNow.com. The Mark Reardon Show.
J. Peter Zane, he's an editor at Real Clear Investigation.
Israel exists, and the Palestinians refuse to accept that. You are going to be in a state of constant war. That is just a truth.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. This is the Annie Frey Show.
But everything and all just feels the same. At my high school, it felt more to me like a jail cell, a penitentiary. My time spent there, it only made me sick. And I don't ever want to be like you. I don't want to do the things you do. I'm never gonna hear the words you say. And I don't ever wanna be you.
Ever stop to think about how angsty we were in the 90s, but more the 2000s, early, like the crossover?
You know what? I was more angsty against that thing.
There's punk. So what was it? It was like grunge in the 90s.
It was, yeah.
So that was kind of angry.
Yeah. It was anti-everything.
Yeah, but I mean, like, with gusto. Like,
Yeah.
you were angry and you weren't afraid to say that you were PO.
Well, you were angry, but you also wanted to make sure that people knew that you were angry and you just didn't care anymore.
Care about anybody or
Yeah.
anything. I do what I want.
Yeah.
But then it shifted into punk, and punk, man, makes some people mad.
Yeah.
You go out of grunge and that kind of rock into punk, and punk is a little more aggressive. I do care that you know that I'm mad. The anger of the grunge and the disassociation from everything changed to, I'm mad and I need people to know about it.
It did, but it was like happy, poppy, dumb punk.
Because they needed attention.
Yeah. I want you to know that I feel a certain way, and I'm going to make it kind of catchy.
And the anger shifts. I think punk still has a little bit of righteous indignation towards it, a little bit of anger towards it. But it probably depends on who you listen to. There's a little bit of whining.
Oh, yeah. No, well, because now you're bleeding into emo.
Shut up. You took it away from me. I was getting there.
Okay.
Dang it. All right. You do the last 7 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
God dang it. I was walking us through the time.
Emo was...
yes, tell us, please.
You told me.
Lay it out there, Hulk Hogan.
You said go ahead,
Go
so I'm
ahead.
going ahead.
Do it like Hulk.
Emo existed underneath
Do it like
kind of the
Hulk
whole
Hogan.
thing. No, for under like the late 90s.
Do it like Avril Lavigne.
How was that? You do it like Avril Lavigne.
No, you're the one who
Just
screwed
give me
this
an
segment
example.
up.
Give me an example.
No, I can't. It's complicated.
The emo thing
There's
existed
a section of people who are like
underground, and then it kind of came above ground, like it partnered with punk.
All right, stop. So we went from grunge, which was anger, disassociation, and as you said, I don't care what anybody thinks. Punk is anger, moving into, and this is where he scooped me, moving into getting a little whiny, but still a little angry, and like wanting the man to know, and saying I'm out here for everyone to know, and I need to reach the biggest audience possible, which is why this song is so catchy.
Right.
And then we got into emo, which went full bore into whiny. And everybody can know about it, I guess. I don't really... Everybody should know about it, but I'm not going to make it a big deal, but I'm still going to try to make it catchy.
I'm only saying this because I know other people feel this way.
Yeah, and I guess I have to. Into the whininess of today. This is the thing that frustrates me so much, just kind of taking it out of music. But the whininess of emo music and the mentality and just the it became trendy. I'm not going to say cool, but it was trendy to be forlorn and depressed. It was trendy. That's how people dressed. Into where we are right now, what were the things that we were mopey and whiny about? Not being cool enough, being overweight, being not the athlete, being not the prom queen or the prom king. Look at all of the places where that is transferred into political capital for people who saw who's the up-and-coming power structure here and who do we have to squash down in order to amplify these people who really need attention.
Yeah, my parents don't get me. Okay, well, we as the state do.
Yes, and they're like, I love being seen.
I love you.
It feels so
Yeah.
good inside. Will you give me things? Yes, we will.
We sure will.
We will. What do you want? We'll give you some of it, and we're going to keep some of it.
We'll give you your freedom.
Yeah, but you have to pay for it.
Later.
We'll tell you
Yeah.
when you can utilize it and when you can't.
Yeah, right.
Here's a mask.
But we love you.
Mm-hmm.
We are your daddy and your God.
I think I blame Nirvana.
No, don't blame Nirvana.
Gen
No.
X is going, come on.
No. Yeah, don't blame Nirvana. There was some really good music that came out of grunge.
I love how people are on here saying, like, Eric Masters, hi. I'm getting, this was more based on the science, my analogy
Yeah.
here, than science.
I would really like to offend everybody of the generation that's maybe slightly right below mine and say that every single one of those bands that even touched emo sucked.
Blink 182 is punk. That's not emo.
But yeah, pop punk.
Sure,
Yeah.
but yes.
Yeah.
Mainstream punk.
Yeah.
That is peak high school for me. Emo starts really coming up to the surface when I was in college, and then, like, you guys just need to get your act together.
Yeah. I'm going to plaster my hair to my
Get
forehead.
off my lawn! Yes. I don't even have a lawn. I have a dormitory.
Cover the one eye.
But
Cover one eye,
oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. And I'll shave it over here just to show you that I'm different. I just feel weird.
I got
and
a
I wanna
nose
show
ring.
you.
And black and white striped things on my arms.
And these bands that are making multi-millions, they get me.
We didn't talk about this much, but I figured you guys might like to. The Victoria's Secret show that they just had, did you know they went back to, like, skinny hot models?
Oh, no, good for them.
You're like, yeah, and their names are.
Georgina.
Probably not.
Betty.
It's probably like Caitlin
Ethel.
and Madison.
Linda.
And, no, that's a. Do you know what we're talking about? maybe we're not.
Oh, I think
crossing
I
wires
watched
here.
like the 1973 version.
Yeah, when they were
Whoops.
still hot, and then there was this period of time where they're like, let's make them look like everybody, and everybody was like, let's not. Like the women, like me, who's a size 12, size 14, somewhere in there, is going, no.
So you didn't watch it and then go, oh, I feel seen.
No, I look at them going, you should be less seen. Because I feel you in a very intimate, personal way that I did not want to experience.
And I watched it and I said, and seen.
I don't mind. And I mean, that's the thing that frustrates me about what Victoria's Secret used to do. They would use women who had curves. They weren't like the supermodel. Like the women who would walk in the Victoria's Secret show would not be the women you would have walk on a runway to model clothes. Because they had boobs. Because they were selling freaking bras. Don't comment. I don't even want to know what you think about it. Just keep your nodding to yourself. There you go. Affirmation.
He said,
or talk like Hulk Hogan. Do it. Can you?
Brother, when I walk through the mall, I want to see a woman who's got a little substance. You know what I'm saying? I want to get a boba tea. And then I want to get a bra. Or at least look at them. I want to walk in and see an Auntie Anne's. Oh, we're long. No, we're not.
Yes, I do. I have to do the poll.
Go. They go.
We're going to run out of time. People are going to know what the poll is. Mark Reardon's going to have to clean up your mess. Holy smokes.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Professional. How does Donald Trump impact election results? 19%.
I want to get out the pythons.
19.
I want to get a slice of Sbarro.
19% say not at all. 32% say positively, and 50% of you say negatively. What do you think about that, Hulk?
I love it. I think it's great. It sounds good. Really good results to the poll. Thank you.
I didn't know you had this in you. Did you get it all out? Or are you gonna take this on the road?
Oh no, this will be a whole week thing, I think. Tune in tomorrow.
Mark Reardon up next.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon getting ready for a Wednesday show. We're going to talk about the elections from yesterday and how abortion played a role and what that means for next year's presidential race. It's all coming up.
The diamond shop. Brian, Shame
It's
on
a
you.
hard break. You can't go long.
Shame on you.
Just go.
The Diamond Shop, if you're not getting lingerie for your loved ones this holiday season, you might want to get them something beautiful from the Diamond Shop. And I promise you, whatever you get there, they're going to love. It's a girls' night out on Thursday, November 16th. So I'm talking to you ladies, but I'm also talking to you gentlemen who want to nudge your ladies in the direction of this great event, Thursday, November 16th at the Diamond Shop from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. You can enjoy an evening of delicious sips with fun, unbeatable steals you don't want to miss. The Diamond Shop will send your wish list to a special person, to someone, so they can know what the perfect gift is to get for you. So you're going to get something you love, and your loved one's going to be able to pick from that list that you make, including they have 50% off all diamond jewelry all night long. Check them out online at thediamondshop.net for more details on Girls' Night Out, November 16th. Go to thediamondshop.net.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Feels good to be home.
Our local Ashley store has the biggest and best Black Friday furniture and mattress deals going on right now. Literally everything is on sale throughout the store, including up to 75% off designer-picked holiday hot buys. Plus, you can shop confidently because Ashley's price match guarantee ensures you'll get the best price. So if you're looking for trend-forward styles at unbelievable Black Friday prices, shop your local Ashley store today, only at Ashley.
Serving those